Stories from Jamaica and around the world are literally a finger tap away. Keep up to date with Teen Revolution 24 hours a day online via nationwideradiojm.com. Listen live, read the latest stories, hear every soundbite. Be a part of the vibrant online debate via Facebook and Twitter. Now you can get all your favorite premium nationwide content at your convenience. Visit the Android Play Store and download it for free today. NationwideRadioJM.com. All day, every day. Team Revolution.
Christmas starts here at H&L Rapid True Value. Get Christmas ready by shopping the latest in our catalog. The time brought to you by H&L Rapid True Value is...
Nationwide time, 5 o'clock.
From the Nationwide News Network, comprehensive, incisive, tough. This is Nationwide at 5.
Good afternoon, I'm Ricardo Brooks.
And I'm Robian Williams.
In Nationwide News at this hour, Epoch says the economy has hit all key fiscal targets for the April to October period.
South Trelawney MP Marissa Dalrymple Philibert goes to trial over her statutory declarations in March next year.
The Senate President Tom Tavares Finson says the Integrity Commission has lost all credibility.
It would be a significant boost to perceived fairness and the anti-corruption fight in Jamaica should the current composition of the Integrity Commission be reconstructed.
And the Senate President is calling for a reconstitution of the Commission's leadership.
The slow rate of addressing matters anti-government comments, inflammatory and puerile remarks have dealt a near mortal blow to the credibility of the Commission.
Prime Minister Andrew Holness commits to effectively dealing with informal housing settlements across the country.
In news from the rest of the world, Barbados hosts launch of regional alliance against organized crime.
Austria offers Syrian refugees €1,000 to return home.
In headline sports, the Reggae Girls have moved up 2 places on the latest FIFA rankings.
And later in our Bank of Jamaica has decided to ration the supply of $5,000 notes going into the Christmas season. Economist Keenan Faulkner and development economist Dr. Christian Stokes will explain the implications.
In public opinion at 6:26, we ask, where you want for Christmas? Give us your comments by logging on to our Facebook page, Nationwide News Network, and by tweeting us at Nationwide Radio and message us on WhatsApp at 876-285-5693. You can also leave your on Instagram at Nationwide 90FM.
In the nation's business at 6:40, the Jamaica Bankers Association is seeking to implement an instant payment system that will allow for the transfer of funds in near real time from one bank to another, regardless of the time of day. The JBA President Audrey Tugwell Henry of Jets Limited Edmundo Hines will join us.
And at 8, it's the A-Team.
All these and more as we take you home on air on your mobile. Nationwide 90 FM, nationwideradiojm.com, and on the Nationwide app. Available on the Google Play and the App Store. This Friday afternoon, it's Friday, December 13, 2024.
News at 5 is brought to you by Fostrich Company Limited, fostering rich customer service.
If it's news, it's got to be Nationwide 90 FM.
And now to the details. The targets for the April to October period despite a difficult environment. Of the Economic Program Oversight Committee, Epoch, Keith Duncan, on Friday.
Revenue and grants for April to October were marginally ahead of budget, while total expenditures were within budget in the first supplementary estimates that were tabled on October 8. Tax revenues were forecasted for 2024-25 in the new financial supplement from $899 billion to $905 billion. Non-tax increased in the month of October by 33.2 billion, and this was due primarily to the overperformance of the securitization transaction, which exceeded the target of 45 billion by 25 billion for a total of 70.7 billion.
EPOC held what's expected to be its last ever meeting on December 2 ahead of its wind-up. The committee, which has been in existence since 2013, will be replaced by the independent fiscal Mr. Duncan and will monitor and oversee the government's adherence to Jamaica's fiscal rules. However, Mr. Duncan has warned that growth in the country's expenditure is outpacing tax revenue, as the government relied on the one-time amortization revenues of the international airport to fulfill obligations for the current fiscal year.
There was an $18.7 billion increase in wages and salaries, public sector compensation restructuring. That's an 8.3% increase year over year. Total interest cost was brought in line with budget, but was $6.3 billion ahead of the same period last year. So when we look at the growth in tax revenues and growth in total expenditures, and while they both performed slightly better than budget, total expenditures grew by 11.7%, outpacing the growth in tax revenues, which grew at 5.7%. So this metric requires careful ensure fiscal sustainability and discipline going forward.
Keith Duncan, the chairman of the Economic Program Oversight Committee. The Member of Parliament for South Trelawney, Marissa Dalrymple Philibert, will face trial on March 31 next year for allegedly making false statements in her statutory declarations for the period 2015 to 2021. Justice Leighton Morris, upheld the criminal charges against Mrs. Dalrymple Philibert in the Kingston and St. Andrew Parish Court today. This after her attorneys attempted to get a stay in the proceedings. Robian Williams was there.
The Integrity Commission proffered charges against Mrs. Dalrymple Philibert in 2023 for making false declarations about her ownership of a Mercedes-Benz motorcar. After making further checks, Mrs. Dalrymple Philibert acknowledged ownership of the vehicle and said the omission was an oversight. King's Counsel Peter Champagny made an application for the case to be dismissed on the basis that there were procedural errors that led to the charges. KC Champagny submitted that the charges were misplaced and constituted an abuse of process. He argued that his client should have been brought before a commission of inquiry before being subjected to criminal charges. Justice Leighton Morris delivered his ruling after spending close to 2 hours outlining his assessment of the arguments submitted. Due to a lack of information at this stage of the matter, he's unable to consider procedural error on the part of the Integrity Commission. The parish judge stated that without further evidence to prove that Mrs. Dalrymple Philibert was deprived of any opportunity, he's unable to assess if there was an abuse of process. A letter dated July 28, 2023, signed by the director, which recommended that Mrs. Dalrymple Philibert resubmit a complete and accurate statutory declaration. Mrs. Dalrymple Philibert contended that she was not afforded the opportunity to resubmit her documents. She was subsequently charged on October 2, 2023. Justice Morris said, based on the timelines observed, the matter does not meet the criteria for a stay in the proceedings. Prior to the trial date in March next year, the matter will be mentioned on February 7 for a case management hearing. Robian Williams for Nationwide News.
Meanwhile, the South Trelawney MP says she respects the ruling of the court.
All right, the judge in the matter this morning refused the application that I made to the court. My position is that I have always respected the judicial system, and I now respect the decision. Marissa Dalrymple Philibert, the process will continue before the court, and I maintain to the very end my absolute innocence in the.
Marissa Dalrymple Philibert, the Member of Parliament for South Trelawney.
Senate President Tom Tavares Finson says a reconstitution of the leadership of the Integrity Commission would be a boost to the anti-corruption fight in the country. Speaking in the upper house today, Tavares Finson said the commission has lost credibility among many Jamaicans. Siobhan Campbell reports.
Senator Tavares Finson told the upper house he had shared the opinion with the commission in a message intended for publication as part of the agency's efforts to mark Global Anti-Corruption Day, which was observed earlier this week. He said the invitation came from the commission's executive director, Greg Christie. But the leading King's Counsel said the commission refused to publish his submission. On Friday, Tavares Finson read his message into the record of Parliament, maintaining that he would not be muzzled.
Corruption is not only inimical to the moral consciousness of a nation, but the scourge has practical adverse consequences for the development agenda of any society. Therefore, it is good that we are again observing International Anti-Corruption Day. I encourage all Jamaicans to become agents of positive change by taking a strong stance against corruption.
Tavares Finson continued.
It is encouraging that the government of Jamaica has passed, including the Integrity Commission Act, in order to strongly support the anti-corruption fight. However, it is disappointing the Commission in its current dispensation is perceived across major sections of the Jamaican society as having little credibility.
The Senate President outlined factors which he reasons have affected the Integrity Commission's credibility.
The slow rate of addressing matters which come before the Commission, anti-government comments by the Commission's Executive Director, inflammatory and puerile remarks by the Integrity Commission's Chairman, and the police revelation that a senior director of the Commission, who reportedly habitually transported wads of cash, refused to cooperate with the criminal investigations where he was allegedly robbed, have dealt a near mortal blow to the credibility of the Commission. It would be a significant boost to perceived fairness and the anti-corruption fight in Jamaica should the current composition of the Integrity Commission.
Tavares Finson told Parliament that it's in the interest of democracy that his opinion be made public.
So you see, there is nothing libelous about that. And I don't I should have been gagged because I was gagged, you know. I don't feel that I should have been gagged by the Integrity Commission, if I can use Senator Brown's favorite phrase. I will not be gagged. It is in the interest of democracy that my statement be placed on the record of the society.
Siobhan Campbell for Nationwide News.
Prime Minister Andrew Holness has warned Jamaicans to be wary of populist political leaders who make promises without explaining how they will fund them. The Prime Minister made the comment while speaking at the signing ceremony for the Victoria Palms housing development in West Kingston today.
And there are some governments that have fed into this populist trick the people and tell them, yes, we're going to do it. And you know how they do it or try to do it? They borrow. And at some point in time, you have to pay it back. And that's how we end up in debt and in further crisis. This administration, under my leadership, does not believe.
The Prime Minister says his administration is the only one that can credibly say it has created a strong and resilient economy. But he says not enough Jamaicans are making the connection between their demands for improved social services and a strong economy. Holness says the country is still suffering from past decisions to elect governments that pursued poor economic policies.
When you consider what government is to do and what the politics is about, every day I hear the complaints about roads, about water, about housing, about security. I wish that the people of Jamaica would appreciate and understand that these challenges of lack of road, lack of because we made political choices to put in governments that delivered poor economic results. And then we have the expectation that they will be able to fix the roads, fix the sewage, fix everything without having a good economy.
committed to effectively dealing with informal housing settlements across the country. He says the 12 housing units at the Victoria Palms development will be a blueprint for other communities.
We are going to build this now at scale, that all the communities in Jamaica that are like Denham Town or St. Paul's Lane, we are going to come there and we are going to intervene in that situation. We are going to rebuild your community, rebuild your house. That is the commitment of this government.
The Prime Minister says his administration is determined to deal with the problem of informal settlements. He says the plan will be supported by the necessary budgetary support.
Government has a really good plan and a strategy to deal with this issue of informal settlement, urban deterioration, urban areas affected by crime. And that is, we are going to dedicate a substantial part of the budget, having now developed the administrative and technical part of it, acceleration of the project.
Prime Minister Andrew Holness.
You're listening to the news on Nationwide at 5. We'll have more after these.
Value Drug Pharmacy offers curbside pickup and delivery of your branded and generic drugs. WhatsApp your prescription to 876-881-6695. The time by Value Drug Pharmacy is...
It's 15 minutes after 5.
Rentokil initial control, air purification and hygiene services. Call today 876-4236.
The temperature by Rentokil is
30 degrees Celsius in Kingston, 28 out west in Montego Bay.
Continuing the news. The opposition People's National Party PNP has accused the government of trying to downplay concerns raised by the Integrity Commission's investigation into a residential development in Beverly Hills, St. Andrew. In a statement today, the party says the findings of the report released on Tuesday shows issues in the country's governance. Mahiri Stewart has that story.
The PNP says the findings of the Integrity Commission's report highlights issues that it has raised regarding government agencies in the past. It pointed to the National Environment and Planning Agency, the National Land Agency, and the Housing Agency of Jamaica that are a part of the process of monitoring and approving real estate developments. The PNP says that the agencies fall under the Prime Minister's portfolio. It says that, plus the fact that the Prime Minister and his wife, Speaker of the House Juliet Holness, have been involved in private real estate development, presents a conflict of interest. The PNP wants the Prime Minister to divest himself of the ministerial responsibility for all entities and agencies that have the potential to interface with companies. The PNP says it's also concerned about the Kingston and St. Andrew Municipal Corporation's approval and enforcement system. Wants to see the KSAMC's investigation proceed with no political interference. Mahiri Stewart for Nationwide News.
World in a Minute is brought to you by ABC Electrical Sales. We make things as easy as ABC. Hose assembly and supply, equipping Jamaica for success.
And Charles O'Connor Consulting Network, COCN, driven by international accounting standards, modern technology and integrity.
The World in a Minute. The Inter-American Development Bank, IDB, has announced the launch of a regional anti-crime alliance that brings together 18 governments across Latin America and the Caribbean. The alliance also includes Interpol and several international finance institutions. It was launched in Barbados on Thursday. According to international news agency Reuters, IDB Goldfund says security needs to be part of the solution for economic progress across the region. Among the features of the alliance are regional sharing of criminal records among members and meetings to discuss money laundering tied to illegal mining in the Amazon. The IDB says the plan has a strong social focus and seeks to reduce communities' vulnerabilities and strengthen capabilities of police. IDB is providing $1 billion in financing for projects next year. There are plans to mobilize public and private donors to raise more funds. The United States is not participating in the alliance. Mexico and Colombia are expected to join later.
Austria's conservative-led government says it's offering Syrian refugees a return bonus of €1,000 to move back to their home country. €1,000 is roughly $1,050. The move was announced earlier on Friday and follows Sunday's fall of Bashar al-Assad. The conservative chancellor Karl Nehammer reacted quickly to Assad's overthrow, saying the same day that the security situation in Syria should be reassessed so as to allow the deportation of Syrian refugees. Deporting people against their will is not possible until it becomes clearer what direction Syria is taking. For now, Austria's government has said it will focus on voluntary deportations. Austria, along with more than a stopped processing Syrians' asylum applications. Syrians are the biggest group of asylum seekers in Austria, a European Union member state.
World in a Minute was brought to you by ABC Electrical Sales. We make things as easy as ABC. Equipping Jamaica for success.
And Charles O'Connor Consulting, driven by international accounting standards, modern technology and integrity.
Recapping the top stories making nationwide news at this hour. Epoch says the economy has hit all key fiscal targets for the April to October period.
South Trelawney MP Marissa Dalrymple Philibert goes to trial over her statutory declarations in March next year.
Senate President Tom Tavares Finson is calling for a reconstitution of the leadership of the Integrity Commission.
Prime Minister Andrew Holness commits to effectively dealing with informal housing settlements across the country.
I'm Ricardo Brooks.
And I'm Robianne Williams.
Listeners, you can find the news on our website at nationwideradiojm.com and on the Nationwide app, available on the Google Play and the App Store.
News at 5 was brought to you by Fosrich Company Limited, fostering rich customer service.
This holiday season, give yourself the gift of a dream washing machine. Buy Speed Queen at Singer from November 15th to December 31st and get the chance to win a washer or dryer in the Speed Queen Dream Clean promotion. Plus, our winner will also get to spread the joy this Christmas and donate a washer to a local children's home. Imagine having more time for what matters most: family, friends, and freedom from laundry worries. Singer and Speed Queen, spreading joy one load at a time. Authorized under Section 58.3 of the Betting, Gaming, and Lotteries Act.
Is your money idling when it could be yours? Lock in your funds and enjoy premium rates guaranteed to grow your wealth. Whether you're eyeing short or long-term gains, our fixed deposit accounts puts you firmly in control of your money. Now is the time to open a CIBC fixed deposit account and start earning more today. CIBC, ambitions made real.
Sports at 5 is brought to you by Total Tools. They almost always have it.
Good afternoon, with your sports reporter, I'm Alric Swaby. We kick things off with some football as Jamaica's national senior women's football team moved up 2 places to 40th on the latest Coca-Cola FIFA World Ranking. The Reggae girls jumped from 42nd on the back of their 3-0 and a 3-2 wins in a 2-match friendly series against South Africa. The girls are 4th in CONCACAF behind world number 1 USA, Canada and Mexico. World champion Spain sits at 2nd in the world with Germany 3rd, England 4th and Sweden rounding out the top 5. General Secretary of Jamaica Football Federation Dennis Chung says the federation recorded a surplus of over $100 million at the end of November. Chung says this is compared to a deficit of over $11 million last year. He says this means the federation is working steadily in reducing their negative value,
which is very important for us. And last year, this time we had a negative equity of $242 million, $242.5 million. As at the end of November 2024, we have a negative equity of $82.6 million. which is a significant improvement. And for those who are accountants, when you look at your balance sheet, you will see the significant improvement in our current ratio. For example, moving from 0.4 to 0.58 this year, which the measurement is that the closer to 1 or over you are, the better it is.
Chung says they have paid up everyone that they owed.
So we've made some significant strides. All the players who play for us, we actually have paid up the current players. You know, we've had issues with those things in the past, and we're now current. In fact, the game that just ended, the South Africa game, those payments have been made for the game to the girls, and also the men have been paid up. So we're current with that, and that is thanks to the work that's been done by the staff.
Dennis Chung. Now, leaders Liverpool host Inform Fulham tomorrow in the English Premier League as they look for their 10th consecutive win at Anfield in all competitions. Marco Silva's team arrived on Merseyside with an impressive set of recent results that includes a win over Brighton as well as draws against Arsenal and Tottenham. Liverpool, though, won't fear their opposition, given their exceptional home record this season, dropping points in just one game, the 1-0 defeat to Nottingham Forest in September. Liverpool manager Arne Slot says he's expecting a better showing from his players than what they displayed in the 1-0 win away to Girona in the Champions League.
These players have been outstanding in every single game. This wasn't our best performance, but it was still good enough to win a Champions League away game. But we're going to face Fulham now, which have done really well till now this season, and we should have a much better performance against them than we had against Girona to be able to get a result.
Slot says Fulham are stronger in both defence and offence.
Can only take away points from these teams if you have a lot of quality yourself and you have a good game model, good game plan, and that's what they have. They work really hard as well when they don't have the ball, which is one of the reasons not to concede goals, and that is what they've done against Arsenal. I think they only conceded from a set piece against such an attacking threat as Arsenal. That probably tells you how well they are organised and structured. And they beat Brighton as well, which is a team that is so comfortable with the ball. So probably they're able to defend really strong. They are able to defend really strong. And they always have the threat of being a threat in the counter-attack because of the fast players they have up front.
Arne Slot. In the other fixtures, Arsenal welcome Everton, Newcastle are at home to Leicester City, Wolves host Ipswich Town, and Nottingham Forest play Aston Villa. And finally in cricket, West Indies middle-order batsman Shafeen Rutherford was named man of the series for the 3-match ODI series against Bangladesh at Warner Park. The Windies sweep the series 3-0 following their 4-wicket win in the third match yesterday. Rutherford scored 167 runs in 3 innings, which included 113 in the first match.
I think it was a good one for me. I've been putting in a lot of work, and it's good to see that I'm getting some sort of reward. I could have probably done better today, but it's a game of cricket, and on your day it goes, sometimes it doesn't, but I'm very thankful.
He also took a wicket.
I do a bit of bowling in the nets. My skipper was happy to see the way I bowl in the nets, so it's good to see I'm getting some bowling, and hopefully in the future I can get some more bowling.
Shafeen Rutherford. I'm Alric Swaby, and that's your sports.
Sports at 5 was brought to you by Total Tools. They almost always have it.
Since 2016, 156,000 more Jamaicans are working. This is more than any other time in our history. Your government is caring for you. The time brought to you by the Office of the Prime Minister is
5:28.
Since 1995, we've been your go-to source for everything related to billiards, amusement machines, and electronics. With locations at 1A Lindsay Terrace, Kingston 10, and the Village Plaza, Big Bridge, Savannah Lamar, we offer top-quality pool table parts and accessories, cutting-edge gaming machines, and more. We also specialize in assembly, sales, and service of amusement machines. We provide unmatched customer service, expert solutions, and products tailored to your needs. Who are we? We are Eclipse Enterprise. Telephone 876-960-3891.
Importers, clear customs, not your schedule. Download the JA Customs Connect mobile app from the Google Play and Apple App Stores and enjoy the ease to calculate your customs duties, search for tariff codes, track and trace your shipments, pay your declarations, and so much more, all in a click, right at your fingertips. So save time, save money. Download the JA Customs Connect mobile app today. It's fast, safe, and convenient. For more information, visit jacustoms.gov.jm. JA Customs Connect mobile app, powered by the Jamaica Customs Agency. Jamaica Customs, keeping our customers in focus.
It's the BH Paints Christmas promotion. Tune in to the Design Studio from 1 to 3 p.m. as we broadcast live from Phil's Hardware Spanish Town on Saturday, December 14. It's a color event. Get expert advice on how to beautify your space this Christmas when you tune in to Nationwide 90 FM. Decorate and paint like a designer, plus save up to 20% off on all 1 and 5 gallon BH Ultima Plus and Perma paints. So come to Phil's Hardware Spanish Town with Design Studio, Saturday, December 14 from 1 to 3 p.m. It's the BH Paints Christmas promotion. All this and more, only on Nationwide 90 FM, the new revolution in media. This broadcast is brought to you by BH Paints.
News on the go. The latest stories from Jamaica and around the world are literally a finger tap away. Keep up to date with Teen Revolution 24 hours a day online via nationwideradiojm.com. Listen live, read the latest stories, hear every soundbite. Be a part of the vibrant online debate via Facebook and Twitter. Now you can get all your favorite premium nationwide content at your convenience. Visit the Android Play Store and download it for free today. NationwideRadioJM.com. All day, every day. Team Revolution. Public opinion.
Stop this foolish about this GLP and PMP business. We are a Jamaican.
Different people.
It's not a matter of a JLP or a PMP. I think it's more like where it is that you think you're comfortable, what support you can afford to make the country better.
Different views.
Most entertainers, they're not amenable to management, so the only thing that can ultimately structure them is the court and the prison.
Public opinion. The voice of the people at 6:25 p.m. weekdays during Nationwide at 5. Tune into Nationwide at 6:25 p.m. for Public Opinion, where the people's views matter.
Public Opinion is brought to you by Cleasing Industrial Supplies Limited, Industrial Automation and Control Solutions.
The cover story is brought to you by New World Home Improvement and Detail Cleaning. Detailed cleaning for your business and home.
Good afternoon to you. Thank you so much for joining us here on Nationwide at 5. It's 5:32 this Friday afternoon. That means it's time for the cover story. I'm Ricardo Brooks.
And my name is Sanjay Lewis. And for the cover story this evening, we are looking at a decision made by the Bank of Jamaica. So the Bank of Jamaica, the BOJ, has decided to ration the supply of $5,000, the notes, going into the Christmas season. According to one of the country's daily newspapers, the Central Bank has been getting complaints from the public regarding the increase in the note in automated banking machines, ABM, across the country.
The central bank has reportedly been working with banks and security companies to put less $5,000 notes into the machines. However, some banking institutions have taken issue with this decision. They're reportedly concerned that when people start getting paid next week, the big money we get for December, the machines may not be able to facilitate the expected level of withdrawals without running out of cash quickly. A representative from the BOJ told Nationwide News that this issue was raised at the central bank's last media briefing.
And the representative says it was noted that this is a matter for the commercial banks to address. They say distribution of notes and coins is done by BOJ in keeping with orders placed by commercial banks. So, what are the possible implications for the Christmas period? Well, to help us, we're being joined by economist Keenan Faulkner and also development economist and chairman and CEO at NCS Enterprise, Dr. Christian Stokes. Gentlemen, good afternoon and welcome.
Good afternoon, gentlemen.
Good afternoon, very much. Sanjay.
Wonderful. Let me start with you, Keenan. What are the possible economic implications of rationing $5,000 notes during the Christmas, which, as we know, is traditionally a period of high consumer spending?
Right. I mean, I expect that it will have some effect on persons' willingness to utilize ABMs. I mean, we're talking about the Bank of Jamaica said that there was no shortage of banknotes. I don't think you can look at it in terms of shortage of particular banknotes, because what would have been done is the notes ensured for what's in circulation would be sort of consistent with demand by season. So persons will still have money to spend. It just might be inconvenient to now have smaller denominations of notes. I think the wider conversation probably has to be, how can we encourage institutions and persons to use the $2,000 notes, because that is why it was introduced in the first place, to take that pressure off of the $5,000 and having to break them up for different transactions. So maybe that will affect some persons. It probably might not have a very significant effect, but it will have some effect on in terms of convenience. But overall, the situation probably could have been reasonably avoided, because in terms of the ABM service standards that had been introduced, the banks are saying we want to keep the uptime, up, and that requires having to replenish less by having higher denominations. But at the same time, the banks could have, said we're not going to exhaust all of our supplies in the middle of the year, so by the time the end of the year comes, we'll have to ration it, and then the BOJ is forced to do what, the banks probably could have done earlier.
And Dr. Stokes, based on what Keenan just outlined, I'm wondering if the problem is as much of a problem as the financial institutions are letting on.
Well, I think it is a problem for the financial institutions. And the reason why it's a problem for the financial institutions is that given the regulations that they have now for the operating the ABMs, it's completely rational for them to have the economics behind having an ATM stocked with $5,000 notes. And I think that most of them only have about 4 trays. Until recently, it was difficult to find ABMs that issued 2,000 notes. But I noticed that NCB in particular, they seem to have more and more 2,000 machines that issue $2,000 notes. So the key is, though, if you're going to say it has to be up and it can't be down for this time, and penalties are on the way. It's completely rational to say money was in the machine and perhaps the customer didn't want that. But, so they're acting completely rationally. On the other side, though, and this is interesting to me, is that the BOJ seems to be taking more of an interest in customer complaints. And traditionally the central bank has focused on financial price stability and financial sector stability, and they seem to be taking more of an interest now in consumer protection and services to the retail consumer and the financial services sector, which is consistent, by the way, with what former Finance Minister Nigel Clark called a Twin Peaks model. So they seem to be taking more interest in the consumer. And I think that there is the consumer's complaints to the BOJ that is certainly the impetus for this, because at the Oat Market Committee meeting on the 25th of November, Natalie Haynes, who is in charge of the Deputy Governor for Financial Markets and Payment Systems, was very clear that there's no shortage of $5,000 bills. Right? So, but even then, she was encouraging the banks to use smaller denominations to deal with the complaints by customers. So, in short, it's a matter of convenience. I don't think there's going to be a shortage of cash. what there's going to be is that the convenience of getting the denominations that you want at the time that you want it is going to be off kilter. The banks will be happy because they can say, look, there's money in my machine, it's not down, with the consumer is not taking it out, and the consumer will continue to complain. So I think we have to find a rationalization around that. And as an economist, it's always interesting when you know unintended consequences. You have a policy to improve ABM service, and you think it's going to do something, and then it actually makes it worse. And there are many examples of that in economics.
So following on that question that Ricardo asked Dr. Stokes, could it then be that the commercial bank, because they're trying to make their lives easier based on the rules that have been implemented, they are therefore trying to push the BOJ to put more $5,000 notes in the market?
No, they're requesting more $5,000 notes. So there are two explanations. One is that they're really running out of the $5,000 notes, and we mustn't dismiss that. Okay, so let's leave that out there, and the Saints could say that is not the case again. But the other thing is, if by moral suasion, I am saying to you, look, you really need to make more $2,000 and $1,000 notes available, $500 notes. We're not going to pressure you on the $50 and the $100 because it just doesn't make sense. But you have to have some $2,000 and $1,000, and you are not doing it. The next thing that they can do is, okay, fine, I'm just not going to give you $5,000 notes to put in your machines. So either it is that they are running out entirely, or the BOJ is taking a stand and saying, I am just not going to give you that money to put in your machines, and therefore, by that mechanism, force you to both stick to the regulatory standards, A, and B, have other denominations in your machine. So I'm speculating that there's some of that going on.
Mm-hmm. And Keenan Faulkner, you mentioned the $2,000 note and the original intention, certainly as articulated by the former finance minister. Do you get the sense, though, that that objective has been realized, that people would rely on it more in doing transactions?
No, I don't really get that impression. I mean, I know sensitization and education would have happened regarding the $2,000 bill. And, that's always important to get persons to use it. But the fact is, if I have extremely large transactions, if I'm substituting a $5,000 bill for a $2,000, then it means now for every $10,000, I have to carry 5 times as many notes. So no, in the wider economic space, yes, the value of the notes in circulation will probably still be consistent with seasonal demand, but no, the volume would have to increase because you're now withholding the $5,000 and trying to put more $2,000. So it probably will be a case that persons will see more $2,000 and then they will probably start to, realize the ease of using this compared to now having to break up a $5,000 for more transactions. So probably this is something that when it was first introduced, if you withheld the $5,000 at that time and sort of, flooded the circulation with 2,000, more persons would have seen it, more persons would have probably been more inclined to use it. But now, as it is, we are forced to use more of it. The tills in the ABMs, as Chris said, only carry 4 of them. And, we have to recalibrate it so that you can accommodate more $2,000 bills. And I just don't think, in the Jamaican experience, we have totally gotten used to using that denomination of the currency as yet.
Mm-hmm. And Dr. Stokes, is that how you see it as well?
No, yeah, I think that's spot on. Interestingly, they just to slightly deep on that same point. So let's say you want 20,000, you're going to walk out with more notes in your hand if you can't get it all in 5,000. But that's the same explanation the banks use. When I have to transport a $5,000 bill, right? It is much cheaper, and make no mistake about this, and Beryllium and the banks will confirm that for a given volume of money, and the math is clear to everyone, the bigger the notes, the less volume, the less that you have to handle, and there are probably some economies of scale of going with this smaller number and greater value than going with bigger bags and greater risk and so on. So the same thing that's an inconvenience to the bank is actually a convenience to the customer. The other thing that we're not clear on is it that 5% of the ABM users are complaining about this, about the not being able to get change. Now, market in the context of Jamaica, where somebody may be taking home for the week $20,000, $5,000 at a shot is a lot, right? So we need to know: is it that there's a small vocal minority that is complaining that they can't get the 1,000 and 2,000, or is it the majority? And I think we need to understand where that line is. And I think the banks in particular have to do some more calibration of the demand for notes, and trying to find a spot where the customer can be reasonably satisfied. Not everybody's going to be perfectly satisfied, but just to say, you know what, hold this $5,000 because it's more convenient for me is not sustainable.
Gentlemen, hold it there for us. We're up on the break. After the break, I want to talk a little bit more about this Twin Peaks model that Dr. Stokes touched on, because sometimes I wonder if most Jamaicans understand what it means and if there's any benefit to them at all. After the break.
Clearing personal non-commercial shipments at the port? Avoid the wait. Request a contactless clearance through your agent today. It's more efficient. It's secure. The time by the Jamaica Customs Agency is
15 minutes to 6.
Label Crafts Jamaica Limited offers exceptional finishes that will make your product extraordinary at an affordable cost. The Temperature, brought to you by Label Crafts Jamaica Limited. The #1 choice for label printing is...
It's 29 degrees Celsius here in Kingston, 27 out west in Montego Bay.
For all your electrical needs, visit ABC Electrical Sales. They stock a wide variety of electrical supplies, including plugs, switches, panel boards, and conduits, plus energy-saving fixtures. ABC Electrical Sales stocks brands like GE, Siemens, Philips, Cutler Hammer, and Allen Bradley. They also offer free island-wide delivery just to suit your needs. Visit them at Shop 8, Hagley Park Plaza, Kingston 10, or call 876-754-3714-5 or 876-754-3825-8. ABC Electrical Sales, for a better choice in the electrical business.
Small business owners, this holiday season, Access Financial Services is here to help you create merry money moments. Need a boost to stock up inventory, expand your business, or prepare for the festive rush? We've got you covered with our small business loans. And here's the best part: no payments for up to 1 month. Fast approvals to keep your business moving. Flexible terms tailored just for you. Let Access Financial be your partner in growth and success this holiday season. Visit accessfinanceonline.com or step into your nearest branch today. Access Financial Services, helping your small business make a big impact this Christmas. Conditions apply.
New World Home Improvement and Detail Cleaning offers high-quality detail cleaning and home improvement services. They cater to residential and commercial properties. They clean from the ceiling to the floor. They clean sofas, mattresses, carpets, and chairs. They deep clean and restore all floors. They repair and restore roofing. They do tiling, general paintings, drywall works, and other carpentry services to include property renovation. Call them 876-384-9313. Follow them at New World Detail Cleaning and Home Improvement.
Thank you so much for staying with us here on Nationwide at 5. I'm Ricardo Brooks.
And my name is Sanjay Lewis.
We have with us economist Keenan Faulkner and development economist and chairman and CEO of NCS Enterprises, Dr. Christian Stokes. We've been discussing with them this decision by the BOJ to ration $5,000 notes. Dr. Stokes, at the top of the conversation, you made mention of the fact that the BOJ has come under more pressure, more scrutiny from consumers, members of the public, to hold the banks more accountable. Yeah? It was my understanding. And you mentioned the Twin Peaks model. And so I know the former finance minister mentioned the benefits, mentioned why he thought it important to move towards that kind of setup. But I wonder if you could just break down for our listeners what essentially it means, and is there any benefit, as you see it, to individual bankers, customers in Jamaica?
All right, thank you. Let me just give you the background in two scenarios. We should all remember discussions led by a particular member of parliament, can't remember his name right now, about the fees that banks are charging, and they shouldn't charge fees.
Fitz Jackson.
Yes. They shouldn't charge fees to deposit your funds, and the bank fees are onerous, they are not transparent, and so on. So that's one discussion, right? While that discussion was going on, and MP Jackson is being very, very, he's an MP, right, not a senator.
Right, right, yeah.
Right.
Yes,
being intransigent on the subject. At the same time, SSL comes up, and the regulation of SSL by the FSC comes up, and then in its initial addressing of that issue, Dr. Clark spoke to the need to consolidate financial regulation between the Bank of Jamaica, that focuses on regulation of deposit-taking institutions, and so all the things that are not deposit-taking, cambios and remittance companies, right? And the FSC that focused on investments, investment houses, so on and so forth. The new thinking, not very new, but more updated thinking, is that, look, all financial services, all things that affect financial stability ought to be under one peak. So the discussion was started about the FSC, if you remember now, the Bank of Jamaica actually regulating things that organizations that the FSC is currently regulating. Right? And the truth of the matter is that the Bank of Jamaica, in its independence, is far more advanced than the regulations that currently is guides the FSC. So that's not a bad thing. So that is one peak. All right. The protection of the financial stability of the country for all financial savings investment activities. So that's a good thing. Getting back to know MP Jackson, that's the other peak, which has to do with market conduct and consumer protection. So it's those two things that in the general literature refer to as the Twin Peaks model. So when I referred to that earlier, it just seems to me that the interest that the Bank of Jamaica is now taking in the availability of cash and convenient cash through the ATMs is certainly has some echoes around the theme of a need for that second peak, which would deal with market conduct and consumer protection. And for that reason, I believe is relevant, because now they're actually taking action to influence the banks to deliver better service to the customers, which is part of the aim of that second peak, which deals with consumer protection.
So for those Jamaicans who are worried about what it means, you would say the second peak essentially is devoted to ensuring that they have convenience and protection in banking. Fair to say.
I mean, why are they charging me so much? I don't, I opened an account that didn't tell me that they were to be taking out this much money. I pay my loan and they thought there was fraud on my card and I can't get back my money. These are real issues in people's everyday lives and the economy, and people feel disempowered.
Yeah,
and I think having somewhere to go that is focused on that is very important.
Yeah, and so Keenan, I guess I'm wondering now about capacity, because then the bank would be taking on the central bank more. So, are there any concerns about its capacity to execute those Twin Peaks?
I don't think so, and I think they have realized it as well. I mean, the Bank of Jamaica plans to expand with another tower to complement the current one that they have downtown. And that is, I think, in anticipation of the added staff and, personnel capacity that would be required. And in terms of capacity, I mean, we will have to eventually get there. So Twin Peaks, was first proposed maybe around 30 years ago, incidentally, like shortly before our own financial crisis. So eventually we would have had to get to that point, regardless of what would have happened with SSL or any other, financial institution, because we have to remain agile and responsive as the financial sector grows and evolves. And that is not a static process over the course of 30 years. You don't want to be caught behind the 8 ball and then, having to play catch-up eventually. I mean, we are, in some ways, playing catch-up. But the reason why it is important, in terms of both prudential supervision and regulation on one hand, that's one thing, and then market conduct and consumer protection on the other hand, is that we have had our experiences with financial sector instability, and that is one of the things that you don't want to happen, along with things like price instability and fiscal instability. Now that we have achieved macroeconomic stability, financial sector stability is one of those critical pillars. We don't want situations to reoccur in the future where you have, say, privatized gains and socialized losses. So we have to have situations that can sort of prevent that, have adequate sanctions, adequate rules in place, while also still promoting financial innovation, because that is another concern on the financial sector side. Are the rules too constraining? Is it going to stifle or stymie innovation and creativity? So that's why this process is expected to be completed not before 2026. So there's still some way to go in order to fully flesh out everything that's required.
And Keenan went exactly where I wanted to take you, Dr. Stokes, the potential challenges or risks that would be associated with us adopting the Twin Peaks model.
Well, Keenan said something important about being behind the eight ball or so. The truth of the matter is, the said 1990s crisis came about because we liberalized. There was a huge mushrooming in the financial sector, and regulation was either non-existent or way behind. All right, so the truth is that maybe we have overshot that a little bit. We have become really conservative in our regulation and our capital requirements and monitoring and so on. But there are emerging challenges. The rights of the consumer is one of those things that has become very important. The other thing that has become very, very important that Keenan touched on is the ease with which we allow fintechs, all right, financial technology companies, to add value to the economy. And frankly, right now, we have not been very good at that. We haven't been very successful at that. Our digital currency has not taken off. Our digital transactions generally have not taken off, and people, I have views on why that is the case. But the issue is you have to be firm on some things. Right, capital requirements, for example, and reporting and licensing and monitoring, but you must also leave sufficient room for people to innovate and grow, and you must do that at the same time where the consumer matters. It's not like take what you get. You have to give people choice, and by the way, it's just the financial sector now is an oligopoly. NCB and Scotia probably take out 80% out of the oxygen out of the room, which they have earned, which is hard earned. But there's room for more competition and more innovation to deliver better service to customers. So while we are regulating well and serving the customers well, we still have to leave sufficient wiggle room for the innovator, the young entrepreneur, to come in and to do something that delivers a better service to the consumer.
Yeah. Keenan Faulkner, economist, Dr. Christian Stokes, development economist and chairman and CEO at NCS Enterprises. Thank you both so much for that bit of public education. Really appreciate it.
Thank you very much.
Yeah, man. Have a good one. All right. Sanjay?
Yes.
You good?
Yeah, man.
I'm
just wondering. I'm wondering, Ricardo, this whole idea of this 5,000. As you asked the question, is it a much ado about nothing? Because that's a little surprise when I saw the news item.
Yeah, well, I mean, I suppose if the $2,000 bill is not going to be as accessible, then it could lead to some inconvenience. But we'll see. We'll see. Only the big money people like you and Damien will probably be upset, so they can't get $5,000 bills.
That is not applicable to me at all, Ricardo. So, who the cap fit, they need to wear it, and I think you need to put on that.
No, Damien, the big money. All right, listeners, the headlines at 6 are next.
The cover story was brought to you by New World Home Improvement and Detail Cleaning. Detailed cleaning for your business and home.
News on the go. The latest stories from Jamaica and around the world are literally a finger tap away. Keep up to date with Teen Revolution 24 hours a day online via nationwideradiojm.com. Listen live, read the latest stories, hear every soundbite. Be a part of the vibrant online debate via Facebook and Twitter. Now you can get all your favorite premium nationwide content at your convenience. Visit the Android Play Store and download it for free today. NationwideRadioJM.com. All day, every day. Team Revolution.
The time brought to you by Guardian Life. Live secure, live easy is
6 o'clock.
Nationwide headlines at 6.
Good evening with the headlines at 6. I'm Mahiri Stewart. The government has hit all its key fiscal targets for the April to October period, despite a difficult economic environment. That's according to the chairman of the Economic Program Oversight Committee, EPOC, Keith Duncan, on Friday.
Revenue and grants for April to October were marginally ahead of budget, while total expenditures were within budget in the first supplementary estimates that were tabled on October 8. Tax revenues were forecasted for 2024-25 in the new financial supplementary estimates to revised upwards from $899 billion to $905 billion. Non-tax revenues were increased in the month of October by $33.2 billion, and this was due primarily to the overperformance of the securitization transaction, which exceeded the target of $45 billion by $25 billion for a total of $70.7 billion.
EPOC held what's expected to be its last ever meeting on December 2, ahead of its wind-up. The committee, which has been in existence since 2013, will be replaced by the Independent Fiscal Commission. The body will again be chaired by Mr. Duncan and will monitor and oversee the government's adherence to Jamaica's fiscal rules. However, Mr. Duncan has warned that growth in the country's expenditure is outpacing tax revenues. This is particularly concerning as the government relied on the one-time amortization revenues from the Norman Manley International Airport to fulfill obligations for the current fiscal year.
There was an $18.7 billion increase in wages and salaries stemming from the public sector compensation restructuring. That's an 8.3% increase year over year. Total interest cost was brought in line with budget, but was $6.3 billion ahead of the same period last year. So when we look at the growth in tax revenues and growth in total expenditures, and while they both performed slightly better than budget, total expenditures grew by 11.7%, outpacing the growth in tax revenues, which grew at 5.7%. So this metric requires careful management to ensure fiscal sustainability and discipline going forward.
Keith Duncan, chairman of EPOC. South Trelawney Member of Parliament Marissa Dalrymple Philibert will face trial on March 31, 2025 for allegedly making false statements in her statutory declarations for the period 2015 to 2021. Justice Leighton Morrison upheld the criminal charges against Mrs. Dalrymple Philibert in the Kingston and St. Andrew Parish Court on Friday. Justice Morris delivered his ruling after spending close to 2 hours outlining his assessment of the arguments submitted. Justice Morris said due to a lack of information at this stage of the matter, he's unable to conclude that there was procedural error on the part of the Integrity Commission. The parish judge stated that without further evidence to prove that Mrs. Dalrymple Philibert was deprived of any opportunity, he's unable to assess if there was an abuse of process. The South Trelawney MP says she respects the ruling of the court.
All right, the judge in the matter this morning refused the application that I made to the court. My position is that I have always respected the judicial system, and I now respect the decision of the judge this morning. However, for me, Marissa Dalrymple Philibert, the process will continue before the court, and I maintain to the very end my absolute innocence in the matter.
That's Marissa Dalrymple Philibert, South Trelawney MP. Prime Minister Andrew Holness has warned Jamaicans to be wary of populist political leaders who make promises without explaining how they will fund them. The Prime Minister made the comment while speaking at the signing ceremony for the Victoria Palms housing development in West Kingston on Friday.
And there are some governments that have fed into this populist view, trick the people and tell them, yes, we're going to do it. And you know how they do it or try to do it? They borrow. And at some point in time, you have to pay it back. And that's how we end up in debt and in further crisis. This administration, under my leadership, does not believe in development by borrowing.
The Prime Minister says his administration is the only one that can credibly say it has created a strong and resilient economy. But he says not enough Jamaicans are making the connection between their demands for improved social services and a strong economy. Holness says the country is still suffering from past decisions to elect governments that pursued poor economic policies.
When you consider what government is to do and what the politics is about, every day I hear the complaints about roads, about water, about housing, about security. I wish that the people of Jamaica would appreciate and understand that these challenges of lack of road, lack of water, lack of housing all stem because we made political choices to put in governments that delivered poor economic results. And then we have the expectation that they will be able to fix the roads, fix the sewage, fix everything without having a good economy.
Prime Minister Andrew Holness. The opposition PNP has accused the government of trying to downplay concerns raised by the Integrity Commission's investigation into a residential development in Beverly Hills, St. Andrew. In a statement today, the party says the findings of the report released on Tuesday shows issues in the country's governance. The PNP wants the Prime Minister to divest himself of the ministerial responsibility for all entities and agencies that have the potential to interface with his private companies. The party says it is also concerned, about the Kingston and St. Andrew Municipal Corporation's approval and enforcement system. The opposition says it wants to see the KSAMC's investigation proceed without political interference. Those are the headlines at 6. I'm Mahiri Stewart. Sports is next.
Who shops at Creative Building Finishes? You, the homeowner who creates luxurious spaces with our floor and wall tiles. The contractor and builder who are convinced that our ceramic tiles are right for the job. The architect and designer who make dreams come true with our wood look and porcelain tiles. Superior customer service, knowledgeable staff, inviting showroom, and you get where this is going, right? Shop 5 Red Hills Road or call 876-929-5553. Get tiles, get Creative Building Finishes.
KFC festive feast for the holidays. Full of power with my friends and my family. KFC bucket of the flavor. Something for everybody, time for we celebrate. 12 piece of chicken so delicious. Fries, biscuits, coleslaw, mashed potatoes. And the Pepsi. Crunch the holiday with KFC. It's the festive feast for you.
Crunch the holidays with the KFC festive feast. 12 pieces of delicious chicken, sides, and a 2-liter Pepsi. Try our new KFC dessert biscuits. KFC, it's finger licking good.
Are you ready to turn your sales and marketing skills into high earnings? Nationwide 90FM is searching for business development executives to build lasting client relationships. If you have experience across all stages of the sales cycle and possess strong communication, negotiation, and time management skills with a proven sales track record, this opportunity is perfect for you. Join our team and work with the top corporate brands, media agencies, and of course, our on-air personalities. Enjoy networking opportunities, professional growth, and competitive commissions. Ready to take the next step? Send your resume to hr@nationwidenewsnetwork.com today.
Good evening and welcome to your sports report. I am Alric Swaby. We kick things off with some football as Jamaica's national senior women's football team move up 2 places to 40th on the latest Coca-Cola FIFA World Ranking. The Reggae Girls jumped from 42nd on the back of their 3-0 and 3-2 wins in a 2-match friendly series against South Africa. The girls are 4th in CONCACAF behind world number 1 USA, Canada and Mexico. World champion Spain sits at 2nd in the world, with Germany 3rd, England 4th, and Sweden rounding out the top 5. General Secretary of the Jamaica Football Federation, Dennis Chung, says the federation recorded a surplus of over $100 million at the end of November. Chung says this is compared to a deficit of over $11 million last year. He says this means the Federation is working steadily in reducing their negative value,
which is very important for us. And last year, this time we had a negative equity of $242 million to $42.5 million. As at the end of November 2024, we have a negative equity of $82.6 million, which is a significant improvement. And for those who are accountants, when you look at a balance sheet, you will see the significant improvement in our current ratio. For example, moving from 0.4 to 0.58 this year, which the measurement is that the closer to 1 or over you are, the better it is.
Chung says they have paid up everyone that they owed.
So we've made some significant strides. All the players who play for us, we actually have paid up the current players. You know, we've had issues with those things in the past, and we're now current. In fact, the game that just ended, the South Africa game, those payments have been made for the game to the girls, and also the men have been paid up. So we're current with that, and that is thanks to the work that's been done by the staff.
Dennis Chung. Westchester Soccer Club announced the historic signing of their first ever player, bringing Major League Soccer and the Jamaican international wingback Kemar Lawrence to the club. Lawrence, who has had an expansive career spanning over 185 MLS games and 77 Jamaica Senior Men's National Games, will be a key piece both on the pitch and in the community in the club's inaugural season, which begins at Memorial Field in April. Lawrence was in the MLS Best 11 in 2018 and CONCACAF Gold Cup Best 11 in 2017 and was an MLS All-Star in 2019. The signing is pending league and federation approval. Leaders Liverpool host inform Fulham tomorrow in the English Premier League as they look for their 10th consecutive win at Anfield in all competitions. Marco Silva's team arrived on Merseyside with an impressive set of recent results that includes a win over Brighton as well as draws against Arsenal and Tottenham. Liverpool, though, won't fear their opposition given their exceptional home record this season, dropping points in just one game, the 1-0 defeat to Nottingham Forest in September. Liverpool manager Arne Slot says he's expecting a better showing from his players than what they displayed in the 1-0 win away to Girona in the Champions League.
These players have been outstanding in every single game. This wasn't our best performance, but it was still good enough to win a Champions League away game. But we're going to face Fulham now, which have done really well till now this season, and we should have a much better performance against them than we had against Girona to be able to get a result.
Slot says Fulham are strong in both defence and offence.
Can only take away points from these teams if you have a lot of quality yourself and you have a good game model, good game plan, and that's what they have. They work really hard as well when they don't have the ball, which is one of the reasons not to concede their goals, and that is what they've done against Arsenal. I think they only conceded from a set piece against such an attacking threat as Arsenal. That probably tells you how well they are organized and structured. And they beat Brighton as well, which is a team that is so comfortable with the ball. So probably they're able to defend really strong. They are able to defend really strong. And they always have the threat of being a threat in the counter-attack because of the fast players they have up front.
Arnie Slot. In the other fixtures, Arsenal welcome Everton, Newcastle are at home to Leicester City, Wolves host Ipswich Town, and Nottingham Forest play Aston Villa. England, Wales, Scotland and Northern Ireland have discovered their 2026 World Cup qualifying opponents following Friday's draw in Zurich. England, under new head coach Thomas Tuchel, will face Serbia, Albania, Latvia and Andorra. Wales will meet familiar foes Belgium plus North Macedonia, Kazakhstan and Liechtenstein. Scotland will play Greece, Belarus and the loser of the Portugal versus Denmark Nations League quarter-final. Northern Ireland are up against Slovakia, Luxembourg, and the winner of the Germany versus Italy Nations League game. The games will be played across 5 international breaks between March and November 2025. The top teams from each of the 12 groups qualifies automatically for the World Cup, which will be held in the USA, Canada, and Mexico, with the second-place teams going into the playoffs. A total of 16 European teams will qualify. Scotland and Northern Ireland have been drawn in 4 teams groups and will not start their games until September. The Scots face Greece, who are coincidentally also in their World Cup qualifying group in a 2-legged Nations League promotion regulation playoff in March. Now to cricket, as West Indies middle-order batsman Shafeen Rutherford was named man of the series for the three-match ODI series against Bangladesh at Warner Park. The Windies sweep the series 3-0 following their 4-wicket win in the third match yesterday. Rutherford scored 167 runs in 3 innings, which included 113 in the first match.
I think it was a good one for me. I've been putting in a lot of work, and it's good to see that I'm getting some sort of reward. I could have probably done better today, but it's a game of cricket, and on your day it goes, sometimes it doesn't. But I'm very thankful.
He also took a wicket.
I do a bit of bowling in the nets. My skipper was happy to see the way I bowl in the nets. So it's good to see I'm getting some bowling, and hopefully in the future I can get some more bowling.
Shafeen Rutherford. And finally in swimming, Nathaniel Thomas won his fastest time of the season in the 100 meters butterfly of 54.93 seconds and the second fastest Jamaican time ever at the World Short Course Championships now underway in Budapest. Jessica Calderbank recorded the best time by a Jamaican woman at the championships in the 100 meters butterfly, 1 minute 0.62 seconds for 31st. The previous best time and placing was 39th by Kelsey Campbell when she swam 1 minute 02.90 seconds. I'm Alex Swiby, and that's your sports.
For all your scales and food processing equipment, call Advanced Scales and Equipment Limited at 876-968-9612-5. The time by Advanced Scales and Equipment Limited is
6:17.
You hear the news? AM Financial give them customers cash back for the Christmas. Cash back! You can get up to $15,000 with every loan disbursed. A true. Plus, them increase them loan amount so you can get anything you want. And with every loan, you get a free gift. Free! Apply now at loansale.amfinancialja.com or WhatsApp 876-437-3982. Make sure you apply early. Promotion ends January 31st. Conditions apply.
Fossridge is having a Christmas sale. From December 8 to December 31, save on chandeliers, wall lamps, ceiling fans, and LED bulbs. Come shop and save with up to 40% off this Christmas. Visit us in Kingston, Mandeville, Montego Bay, and Draxall. It's the Fosterage Christmas Sale, December 8 to December 31. Open Sundays.
Happy holidays from Team Adam and Eve. We invite you to indulge in a relaxing spa atmosphere or gift someone spa pampering this season. Visit us at www.adamandevedayspaja.com for e-certificates or WhatsApp 876-567-2142. Relax, refresh, and respite with us today. We have Christmas packages starting at $8,500. Book a massage, facial, mani-pedi, or hair service at Adam and Eve Day Spa. You deserve it.
The most spectacular year-end sale is back at IQ Optical. Get up to 75% on optical frames and sunglasses in December. Conditions apply.
If it's in the public's interest, it's the nation's business during Nationwide at 5. The nation's business.
Public Opinion is brought to you by Cleasing Industrial Supplies Limited, Industrial Automation and Control Solutions.
Good evening, and welcome to Public Opinion. I'm Roby Ann Williams. A special good evening to our friends over there on our YouTube platform. Thank you so much for tuning in. You know we like to hear from you, so as always, we ask you to weigh in live in the comments section on today's Public Opinion. It's the TGIF edition of Public Opinion, and you know we like to keep it a little simpler than the usual hard news that we normally give you throughout the week. Now, as the festive season gets into high gear, we're asking the question, what you want for Christmas? Whether it's peace of mind, a family reunion, a big plate of Christmas food, or maybe just a little extra money in your pocket. Yeah? This is your time to share with us your Christmas list, yeah? Your wish list. Is it something simple, something grand, or maybe something Jamaica needs as a whole? Whatever it is, we want to hear from you. So we're asking you for the Public Opinion this evening, what you want for Christmas? Same way, so. On our Facebook platform, I'll start there, where, let me see, Michelle Bernard is saying, peace and goodwill to all Jamaicans. Winston is saying, I need one thing for Christmas, for the government to leave, for the Integrity Commission to leave the government and for it to be replaced. Wow. All right. Okay. That sounds serious. El Comandante Mendez is saying a container load of money. What is it? Ask and it shall be given. El Comandante needs a container load of money. Mel Boo is also saying money. Natalie Winter is asking for her money, no question, as she says straight up, money she a deal with. All right, Christina Drummond is saying she definitely needs a washing machine. Yeah? A washing machine for Christina Drummond. That's what's on her wish list for this Christmas. Fully Harvest Foods saying more of God's blessings, life, good health and wellness, peace and harmony to all, and less to none. Robert Ranger is saying more life, you know. Not really want nothing but Robert want more life. Hoping to live to see the new year. Michael Stonewall is saying he's single. Yeah. Michael Stonewall, ladies, saying that he's single and he needs a wife. I don't know if it's only for the Christmas season he need the wife for. And then after the Christmas season, I don't know what will happen. But Michael Stonewall saying want a wife. All right, because he's single. Philip Jackson is saying for Christmas he wants peace. The reason why Jesus came, peace on earth, goodwill towards all men. The gamings and jammings is a part of the celebration. But remember the less fortunate. Look out for them and give. Love and on Christmas Day. It's better to go than to receive. Yeah, so if you're going to have the big Christmas dinner, remember the less fortunate, the people who are out there who don't have it. And if you can give it, if you can provide it, give it. Nicholson KN is saying to continue to be grateful and blessed. Trophy Queen is saying that she wants a bicycle for her daughter. Yeah? Not even for herself. She don't want nothing. Just a bicycle for her daughter. And that's coming from Trophy Queen. Eunice Anderson is saying life, health, and strength. And Trevor Loxley Brown is saying that he just want him grandkids to be happy. And that's so amazing. He just wants his grandkids to be happy for Christmas. If you're just joining us, we're inside the court of public opinion. And the question we're putting to you, we're asking, reason with we, make we know, what you want for Christmas? What's on your Christmas list? On our Instagram platform, K. Wilson is saying peace. Rose Petals is saying tuition, tuition for Christmas. The Rebel Lady K come all out. She give specs and everything for this Dell laptop, and she want a processor and a perfume. And I think we can call the name there, the perfume, so I'm just gonna leave it alone. Wisdom is saying Andrew to leave office. Okay, wow. Godfrey also saying sharing similar sentiments. 40-ish Fine is saying money. Money. And, one thing we can agree upon, and I think all of us will agree on, is this. More money. But they say more money, more problem. Let me see if I can get in some more. Chris Duncan, I think I joke this in, but I still going to read it out. Chris Duncan says him 2 front teeth. Chris Duncan says me 2 front teeth. Yeah? Let me see if I can get in a few more. Willie Ryan Wilson saying that he wants the 2025 BMW X6. Nothing crazy. Yeah? Let me see. Leah is saying a serious relationship with a loyal, faithful, and loving woman that will stick with me through good times and bad. Yeah? Yeah. That's so nice. That's so nice. Fitzroy is saying crime-free. A crime-free Jamaica, that's what he needs. All right, so let me go on to our YouTubers. Student for Life says, I'm giving thanks in advance for a 2025 Hyundai Venue. Yeah? That's number 3 on my list. Then if that is number 3 on your list, me can imagine what number 1 and 2 may be. Yeah? Beverly Samuda is saying, all I need is for haters. Whoa. The message. Let me see if I can get back to that one. I lost the message. And as I tell you, the messages keep on coming in. Venice Cunningham says, a wheelchair. That is what is needed for Christmas. A wheelchair for Venice Cunningham. Let me see if I can get Donnelyn James is saying long life with good health and strength and God's richest blessings. Ulit is saying that more money does not guarantee happiness. Well, Ulit, I know people would disagree and people just want them debts to be paid and have a whole lot on their shoulders and them shoulder just feel heavy and them feel like a money them want for, Yeah. Patrick Samuels is saying, I want peace. Unlike the former mayor of Maypen. Wow. I can see how this is going. Ronald Grant is saying, need to see the back of Mark Golding and his... Wow. Okay. All right. Let me see if I can get in a few more. Kathleen Drummond is saying... All right. Can't read that one. The messages keep on coming up. Delroy, I see what you I see your comment there. Gertrude is saying, Venice, you are far away. I could get you one. I think you should, Gertrude, you can talk to Venice and see how it's possible. Yeah? If you can give this Christmas, do so. Do so. Winston Durant is saying, honestly, God is good to me. All I want is a beautiful, loving wife. Carlene Smith says, I just want someone to cook for me. Would you look at that? That I don't know what leap that, Carlene. I don't know what leap that. We can make that happen. We can make that happen. Yeah? We can make that happen. Christopher Bembridge is saying a peaceful Christmas for Jamaica. What about a peaceful Christmas for the entire world? Would I like that? I would like that, especially in the Middle East. Oh my God, it's been terrible. Just listening and watching the news coming out of the Middle East. It has been a whole lot. Yeah? Carlene Smith is asking, who making these wishes come true rather? All right. we can only ask, we can only ask and see how we can connect the dots. Yeah. Joel Levy is saying, my wishes for Christmas is to see the disappearance of the global food crisis, primarily brought on by the Russian-Ukraine war and COVID-19. Political analyst is saying health more than wealth. Yeah? CB is saying, I want money to pay for my It's born to lead. I want money to pay for my tuition. All right. Let me see if I can get in a few more. Iron ladies say, one dongya a sefitel. Okay, wow. Robian. All him want for Christmas is Robian. Wow. All right, Iron lady, big up himself. Big up himself. Big up himself. Let me see if I can get in some more. To the comment, we're asking you where you want for Christmas. That we're asking you today. Where you want for Christmas. Gertrude Brown. See, Venice, pay attention to the comments in the chat. Gertrude is asking you a question. Robert Lewis is saying, I have Jesus and wonderful family, but I need the IC. Gone to the IC again. Andrea Henry, what do you want for Christmas, Andrea Henry? What do you want for Christmas? Omar Clooney said, Mwami Lama. Yeah? Mwami Lama. That is what Omar Clooney wants. SH, you're saying that I always jump over your comment, but please me, I beg you to understand, say, it's a system that we're working with, and the comments keep on coming in, and by the time I see one, my eyes them go over. It's like, so please, bear with me. Leroy Rotti, what is it that you want for Christmas, Leroy? Do tell. What is it that Leroy wants for Christmas? Yeah? MPS is saying, I need peace. Peace for Christmas. That is what I need. Yeah? Peace for Christmas. Let me see if I can get... Cindy Lynch is saying Jamaicans to love each other. Wouldn't that be nice? If we could just live in peace and harmony. Yeah. Crime-free Christmas. And remember the time when a bunch of artists came together and they made this album, this Christmas album. A crime-free Christmas. Something of that sort. No more bloodshed, not my mind. I love Taurus Riley one. I can't sing. All right, let me see. Sandra Flowers, me and you are a ruin I see in both financial freedom and long life. Everton Powell says Tana. I see you there. All right, they're telling me to scroll up, so I'm going to do that and see if I can catch the comments. Yeah? If I can catch the comments real quick to see what our YouTubers want for Christmas. Yeah? All right, it look like I'm gone up too far. Whoa, what our YouTubers want for Christmas? Kenyatta Montgomery, I see your comment there. Sonia Hibbert says good health. Good health. Yeah? Iron Lady said, I want to say one Black Santa pan him slay. Okay. A pull by 7 Jamaican goats. Wow, Iron Lady. I don't know if you're going to see that, Iron Lady. A Black Santa pan him sleigh pulled by 7 Jamaican wild road goats. You know the wild road goats, then they all over pan the road, Yeah. Brooksy is saying, all I want for Christmas is to see my husband get well. We're sending well wishes, Brooksy, to your husband for him to get well. Not only for just the Christmas, but for all after Christmas. We want to see him get well, Brooksy. We're praying for that. Samantha Gordon says, want the IC to stop play politics. We can see that. Gertrude, I see you and I respect you for that. Thank you so much for engaging with Venice. Yeah. Good evening to each and every one. Like we say, if you have it to give, just give to the less and I don't like using the less fortunate, but the people who don't have it, just give something. Let somebody smile. I mean, it's amazing for you to put a smile on someone's face, whether it be this Christmas or for the new year. Yeah, 2025 is fast approaching and we look forward to it. Angie Morris Semuda just like to come home to the home of the best Christmas feeling. Yeah? Everton White says, what I want, I already have. That nice, Everton? My wife and my 4 sons. May you all have a wonderful Christmas season, you know. I know the Christmas day ain't forward yet, but just the Christmas season, because it start already and the festivities start. I see some municipal corporations lighting the Christmas trees and all that. I know it was over in St. William's Grant Park. It was the Christmas tree last night over in Portmore. We saw the lighting of the Christmas tree as well. And it's just an amazing feeling to see the smiles on everybody's face. So if you have, just give. Barbara Ellington says, health, no pain, and a trailer load of money. That's all the time we have for public opinion this evening. What I want for Christmas? What I want for Christmas? I want a whole heap of things, but I'll just settle for some money. All right. That's it for public opinion this evening. Thank you so much for participating. It's a Friday evening. Enjoy the rest of your day and also your weekend, but do stay tuned. The Business Report is up next.
Public opinion was brought to you by Cleasing Industrial Supplies Limited, industrial automation and control solutions.
Drive the most exciting new vehicles in Jamaica. Schedule your 2024 Ford Ranger pickup or Ford Everest 7-seater SUV test drive now. Call or visit KIG today.
The time by KIG is
6:34.
Annual eye examinations not only assess your vision but may be life-saving. Eye tests may detect serious health issues that go beyond your vision. Call IQ Optical to schedule your comprehensive eye test today.
The temperature by IQ Optical is
28 degrees Celsius in Kingston, 26 Southwest in Montego Bay. Hello, good evening, and welcome to Nationwide's Business Report. I'm Robianne Williams. The Bank of Jamaica BOJ has decided to restrict the supply of $5,000 notes going into the Christmas season. According to one of the country's daily newspapers, the central bank has been getting complaints from the public regarding the increase in the note in automated banking machines, ABMs, across the country. The central bank has reportedly been working with banks and security companies to put less $5,000 notes in the machines. However, some banking institutions have taken issue with this decision. They're reportedly concerned that when people start getting paid next week, the machines may not be able to facilitate the expected level of withdrawals without running out of cash quickly. A representative from the BOJ told Nationwide News that this issue was raised at the central bank's last media briefing. The representative says it was noted that this is a matter for the commercial banks to address. They say distribution of notes and coins is done by BOJ in keeping with orders placed by commercial banks. Further afield, Stanley is recalling approximately $2.6 million of its switchback and trigger action stainless steel travel mugs sold in the U.S. because of a potential burn hazard. The company said that the mug's lid threads, can shrink when exposed to heat, causing the lid to detach during use and posing a burn hazard. Stanley has received 91 reports worldwide, including 16 in the U.S., of the recalled travel mugs' lids detaching during use, resulting in 38 burn injuries worldwide. This includes 2 burn injuries in the U.S., with 11 consumers worldwide requiring medical attention. Stanley said the recall includes double-walled mugs sold in a variety of colors, including white, black, and green in 12 ounces, 16 ounces, and 20 ounces sizes. The Stanley logo appears on the front and bottom of the mug. Consumers are advised to immediately stop using the recalled travel mugs. They say that contact can be made to Stanley to receive a free replacement lid, including shipping. And finally, in the currency markets at the close of trading today, it cost 156 Jamaican dollars and 76 cents to buy $1 US, 199 Jamaican dollars and 54 cents to buy 1 British pound, and 111 Jamaican dollars and 77 cents to buy the Canadian dollar. That's the business report. I'm Roby Ann Williams. It's a Friday evening. Do have yourselves a wonderful one.
Plug into the sun with Peak Energy Solutions. We are your affordable provider for everything solar. Grid tie or off-grid solar P systems, solar air conditioners, panels, lithium batteries, solar supplies, and installation. Visit us at Shop 1, 3 Mosquito Valley Road, Red Hills, St. Andrew. Call 876-279-8820 or 944-0668. Or email us at peakenergysolutionsja@gmail.com. Peak Energy for everything solar. Importers, Clear Customs, not your schedule. Download the JA Customs Connect mobile app from the Google Play and Apple App Stores and enjoy the ease to calculate your customs duties, search for tariff codes, track and trace your shipments, pay your declarations, and so much more, all in a click, right at your fingertips. So save time, save money. Download the JA Customs Connect mobile app today. It's fast, safe, and convenient. For more information, visit jacustoms.gov.jm. JA Customs Connect mobile app, powered by the Jamaica Customs Agency. Jamaica Customs, keeping our customers in focus.
Are you ready to turn your sales and marketing skills into high earnings? Nationwide 90 FM is searching for business development executives to build lasting client relationships. If you have experience across all stages of the sales cycle and possess strong communication, negotiation, and time management skills with a proven sales track record, this opportunity is perfect for you. Join our team and work with the top corporate brands, media agencies, and of course, our on-air personalities. Enjoy networking opportunities, professional growth, and competitive commissions. Ready to take the next step? Send your resume to hr@nationwidenewsnetwork.com today. It's the BH Paints Christmas promotion. Tune in to the Design Studio from 1 to 3 p.m. as we broadcast live from Phil's Hardware Spanish Town on Saturday, December 14. It's a color event. Get expert advice on how to beautify your space this Christmas when you tune in to Nationwide 90 FM. Decorate and paint like a designer, plus save up to 20% off on all 1 and 5 gallon BH Ultima Plus and Perma paints. So come to Phil's Hardware Spanish Town with Design Studio, Saturday, December 14 from 1 to 3 p.m. It's the BH Paints Christmas promotion. All this and more, only on Nationwide 90 FM, the new revolution in media. This broadcast is brought to you by BH Paints.
Start your engines and drive out with a brand new car with the ATL Rule the Road promotion.
Wait a minute. Get it how you live.
Kia, BYD, Honda, BMW, Mini, Audi, and VW are coming to Nationwide 90 FM.
Big stepper, underground methods.
6 Bradley Avenue on December 13, 16, and 17 for viewing. Catch the excitement on December 13 during the E-Zone from 3 to 5 p.m. Then catch them again on December 16 and 17 during Cliff Views Online, 10 a.m. to 1 p.m.
Hey man, I wanna applaud like I'm a kid.
Bring your family, friends, co-workers, and the relatives you haven't talked to in years to Nationwide 90 FM. Men, come for a car for yourself and your lady. You won't get a deal better than this. Can't make it? Tune into the E-Zone from 3 to 5 p.m. on December 13 and the Cliff Views Online from 10 a.m. to 1 p.m. on December 16 and 17. It's the ATL Rule the Road promotion. 6 Bradley Avenue, December 13, 16, and 17. All this and more only on Nationwide 90 FM, the new revolution in media. This broadcast is brought to you by ATL Automotive.
Hi, I'm Lori Gale, inviting you to join me at the Oasis for 12 Days of Christmas, beginning December 16, 12:55 p.m. We'll share Christmas songs and remind ourselves of prophecies related to the birth of Christ. That's Oasis, 12 Days of Christmas, weekdays, beginning Monday, December 16, 12:55 p.m. Only on Nationwide, the new revolution in media.
Nation's Business is brought to you by BH Paints. Paint it, love it with BH Paints.
Thank you so much for staying with us here on Nationwide at 5. It's time for the nation's business. I'm Ricardo Brooks.
The Jamaica Bankers Association, the JBA, is seeking to implement an instant payment system that will allow for the transfer of funds in near real time from one bank to another, regardless of the time of day. The Bank of Jamaica made the disclosure at Tuesday's sit-in of the Standing Finance Committee at Gordon House. Responding to a concern raised by a Member of Parliament for North Central St. Andrew, that's Kar Smuda, the BOJ's Deputy Governor with responsibility for Financial Institutions Supervisory Division, Dr. Jide Lewis, said the central bank has been in discussion with the JBA on the issue. Dr. Lewis said things are still at the proposal phase.
He suggested, however, that Parliament invite the JBA to do a presentation on the initiative and the plans to address the concern of funds not settling on the same date is transferred from one retail bank to another. Well, to further discuss, we're being joined by the president of the Jamaica Bankers Association, the JBA, Audrey Tugwell Henry, and the CEO of Jets Limited, Edmundo Hennes. Lady, gentlemen, good evening.
Good evening.
Hi, good evening.
Thank you so much for joining us. Mrs. Tugwell Henry, let me start with you. I know all our listeners will be happy to hear that the Bankers Association is working on this. So give them a sense of what currently prevents the funds from reflecting at the same time it's transferred or near that time, no matter the time of day.
So thank you for this opportunity. Well, what I would say is that today we have many different methods of payments and doing day-to-day transactions in the market. We have, of course, we use two systems for non-cash transfers. We use the real-time gross settlement system, which is out of the supported by the central bank, and then we have the automated clearinghouse system, which is supported by Jets, and Jets supports the brand Multilink. Mm-hmm. And neither of those are instant transfers. They go through a clearing, they go through different channels, and Edmundo will speak to the technicality of that when I invite him to speak. But what we are looking at, and we started the discussions at the Jamaica Bankers Association, is an opportunity to provide instant transfers, instant account-to-account transfers to add to the convenience of doing business by our consumers in Jamaica. Mm-hmm. And the difference is that it will happen in real time, 24 hours per day, 7 days per week. And for those persons listening who are familiar with like Zelle in the U.S., yes, or anyone, or Venmo, or in one of those systems, it will be exactly like that. And what it means is that the transfers will happen in real time outside of business hours across banks. And the Jamaica Bankers Association, all the members in our meetings and discussions recognize that there's a real need for consumers to have access to this service. We also recognize that there's a heavy dependence on ABMs, largely because when persons have cash, they can do transactions in real time. And so we're looking at an account-to-account transfer system as a supplement to the demand for instant movement and payment. And so that is the basis on which we are pursuing this initiative. What we have decided, though, is that there is this entity, Jets, mm-hmm, which operates Multilink, and Jets is owned by 7 shareholders that are banks. And some of these shareholders are also members of the Jamaica Bankers Association. Mm. And so we approach, the JBA approached Jets, and we've had conversations at the shareholder level of Jets to pursue this initiative, because Jets has, of course, the capacity, the technical capabilities, and so on to do it. Jets has operated Multilink for close to 30 years. and has done so successfully. When persons use Multilink, now you don't even think about it. You can just go to any ABM and you can do your transactions and so on. So that is the basis why we know that Jets would be quite capable to deliver this product to the market. But I'll pause here and ask Edmundo to speak to the actual technical side of the account-to-account transfer.
Because this
Well,
is
before
this is going to be potentially game-changing for people like me. I'm actually so happy to hear this. Go ahead, Sanjay.
Yes, and I also want to understand, Mr. Hennes, what is, from a technical standpoint, is there anything that prevents the banks from having funds transfer in real time, just as how you use the Multilink and get your money in real time, regardless of which ATM you utilize?
All right, let's have the answer to that after the break, because you're up on a break. Please hold it for us.
Payroll made simple and secure. Get automated with BizPay, an integrated payroll and HR solution powered by MC Systems. Contact them today. The time by MC Systems is
6:49.
Phosphorage is having a Christmas sale. From December 8 to December 31, save on chandeliers, wall lamps, ceiling fans, and LED bulbs. Come shop and save with up to 40% off this Christmas. Visit us in Kingston, Mandeville, Montego Bay, and Draxall. It's the Phosphorage Christmas sale, December 8 to December 31. Open Sundays.
Thank you so much for staying with us here on Nationwide at 5. Some good news. Yeah, the Jamaica Bankers Association is seeking to implement an instant payment system that will allow you listeners to receive transfer of funds in near real time from one bank to another, and that's regardless of the time of day. So excellent news. We have with us the president of the Jamaica Bankers Association, the JBA, Audrey Tugwell Henry. We also have CEO of Jets Limited, Edmundo Hennes. Before the break, Sanjay had posed a question.
Yes, Mr. Hennes, I just wanted to understand what is it that prevents the banks now from doing those transfers in real time? And I gave the example of Multilink being able to utilize any ATM and get your cash in real time.
Okay, well, thanks for asking that question. That's a very important one to understand. As Audrey had mentioned, there are several systems that we use to move funds between the institutions today. Of course, Multilink being the first interbank system that we had created some nearly 30 years ago. And of course, that is real time, moving funds across from the ABM channel as well as the point of sale. But the ACH, which is really intended for bulk transfers, moving larger sums, is run as a batch system, so that it actually runs on several regular schedules throughout the day. And then the RTGS now, which is really intended for larger value payments, is run only within certain hours, the business hours of the day, and making it available through the BOJ. So the capabilities have been there in various niches, and what we're looking at now with this A2A is to extend the capability of the Multilink network. The Multilink network is already a 24/7 operation, and by extending it now, we're going to allow people to initiate transactions that will flow through the Multilink network to be able to get that same effect as when you go to an ABM and you get your cash immediately. We're going to allow you to transfer funds between institutions in real time. So it's really an extension of Multilink. So you'll be getting that same reliable service that you've always had for the last 27 years. Now it will just be much more convenient and available without having to go to a terminal, for example. You wouldn't have to necessarily go to an ABM to get the cash to go on your transaction. Now you'll be able to send it directly to your friend from your own bank's application.
Yes. So just to be clear, the RTGS system and the ACH that is currently being used, that's facilitated through the Bank of Jamaica. However, the Multilink system, as indicated, it's powered through Jet. Is that correct?
Well, actually, Jet operates both the ACH and Multilink. BOJ runs the RTGS. So we operate the two systems. Multilink is the largest by volume in the country. The ACH is the second largest by volume. However, the largest in terms of value, that belongs to the RTGS operated by BOJ. So the Multilink system is really geared for small retail payments, and so that one fits nicely with the Jamaican needs. You'll be pleased to know that maybe 42% of all transactions that flow across the Multilink ABN network are less than $5,000. So it's really geared to allowing people who need smaller amounts of funds to be able to get quick and easy access.
And how soon, Mr. Hennes, can consumers expect that this will become a reality?
Okay, we are in the developmental stage, so we're anticipating somewhere within the next 12 to 18 months. But importantly, the engine we're going to build on, the Multilink engine, is already operational. What we're working on now is how to interface with the institutions for this new access pathway. Basically, for consumers to be able to initiate an 8-way transfer. It will be a little different from what they've done before, but it's very easy. They'll be able to go to their institution and say, I'd like to sign up for this, and they've got registered on that platform, and then thereafter they'll use their own banking app to initiate the transfer. So it's something that's going to be very easy for people to use, but we anticipate somewhere within 12 to 18 months. It should be a reasonable time.
But why so long? Because you already have the platform in place, as you indicated. So why are you taking you already have the platform in place, as you have indicated. So why would it take so long for full implementation?
I have to tell you that payment systems are not things that happen quickly. There's a lot of infrastructure and a lot of testing. There's a lot at risk, basically, that you have to get right. So usually you'll find that the basic first phase of the implementation can be done within, say, 3 to 6 months. But thereafter, a lot of testing has to be done, a lot of cross-checks, a lot of verifications, because this is happening in real time. We're moving literally billions of dollars a day. You don't want to have any errors that can come up in the system. So extensive testing is required.
And Mrs. Tugwell Henry, fees.
Yes.
Should we expect that the fees that exist now may largely remain the same, or would we be looking at a situation where those fees would increase?
So let's bear in mind that this is a new service. The services that we're now using on the Multilink network, those are related to ABM and point of sale. Account-to-account transfer in real time that doesn't include cash will be a new service. So part of that 12 to 18 month cycle is for us, for individual institutions to make their own assessments as to how they will price that service, as well as for Multilink as the network provider to determine how the service will be priced based on the cost to deliver the service. So that, to answer your question and to add to what Edmunda said in terms of the timeline, that's part of the efforts that we will have to undertake. Now, bear in mind that for many years, Multilink has operated as a fairly low-cost network provider. So that is part of the strategic objective of Multilink, and so we expect to continue in that same spirit. And again, also just to note that Multilink is owned by 7 financial institutions, and we understand the value of delivering service to the market at a price point that the market can afford. So all of that will be borne in mind.
And so far, Audrey Tugwell Henry, is there buy-in from all the major players within the market to this new system?
Yes, so all the 7 shareholders of Multilink actually met and agreed for the service to be delivered to the market, and also agreed for Multilink to create access to other deposit-taking institutions to have access to the payment network. So there is very broad-based consensus for this service to be delivered to the market.
All right. So about 18 months we're looking at, give or take.
Within 18 months.
Within 18 months.
Within.
Is there anything else about this new system that you'd want the consumers to be aware of?
Well, one of the things is we're very much aware that a lot of Jamaicans access banking services outside of the country, and so many persons are familiar with Zelle. So we want them to be aware that the financial services industry in Jamaica operates at a very high standard. and our standard is quite online and in line, rather, with the standards outside of the country, and that we're very pleased to bring this service to the market. To Edmundo's point, the Multilink network facilitates very small payments, so the average Jamaican is part of the payment network today, and we want to continue to enhance that and bring a level of convenience to the market, that persons have many different channels to access payment services, and, to take some of that pressure and demand off of the ABMs and to bring a higher level of convenience to the consuming public. So we just want the Jamaican public to understand that the Jamaica Bankers Association is very interested and considers it an important effort to bring convenience and a high quality of banking services to the industry.
All right.
Well, I'm sure many of us are happy about that, and the 12 to 18 months is a little far, but we're still happy. But last one
within.
But last one for you before we go, Audrey Tugwell. The matter of the BOJ, is there any regulatory hurdle that you have to cross, considering that this is somewhat of a new system?
Well, with all new products and services that are delivered in the market, the BOJ is advised and they review it, and in some cases it may require regulatory approval. However, the BOJ is very much aware of this initiative, and it has broad consensus and agreement there, so we'll just go through the process of review that is required to ensure that the service is at a standard that is suitable and that will be delivered efficiently to the market. But there are no regulatory hurdles that we anticipate.
Yeah.
All right. Sounds good.
Audrey Tugwell Henry is the president of the Jamaica Bankers Association. We're also joined by Edmundo Hines, the CEO of Jets Limited. Thank you so much for your time. Really appreciate it.
Okay. We're pleased to join you. And we look forward to being able to share more later.
We're looking forward to that. I'm personally looking forward to that. Trust me.
we are very keen.
All right. Have a good one.
Okay, good. Okay. Bye-bye.
Yeah, man. 7 o'clock. I mean, Sanjay, I can't tell you how much times, you have to transfer from one bank to another, especially on the weekend. And it's not going to reach till Monday.
It's a pain.
Yeah, it is a pain. It is a pain. Or if for some reason you miss that 2 o'clock deadline in there, my God. Yeah, it rough. So anything to make that whole process more convenient, I welcome that. Yeah?
And it's a welcome addition, because if you look at countries like the United States with Zelle, or Canada with Interact, it's something that they have been doing for a long time. Yeah. So I'm happy that Jamaica is moving ahead in the right direction.
Absolutely. It's a minute after 7 after the break. At your time, The numbers 630-9371-4 618-8255.
Nation's Business was brought to you by BH Paints. Paint it, love it with BH Paints.
GK1 now introduces third-party motor insurance from GK General Insurance. Download and log into the GK1 app, then select one of 3 affordable third-party options. The time by GK General Insurance is...
It's a minute after 7.
Rule the road with ATL Automotive and CIBC Caribbean. From now until January 31, 2025, a brand new Honda, BYD, Audi, Volkswagen, or Kia could be yours. Enjoy an 8.25% interest rate, 100% financing, 10 years to repay, up to 100% off processing fees, and 0% interest on an easy cover loan for your insurance. Plus, with the online CIBC loan store, you can fast-track your loan application. Visit atlautomotive.com now so you can rule the road.
It's the BH Paints Christmas promotion. Tune in to the Design Studio from 1 to 3 p.m. as we broadcast live from Phil's Hardware Spanish Town on Saturday, December 14. It's a color event. Get expert advice on how to beautify your space this Christmas when you tune in to Nationwide 90 FM. Decorate and paint like a designer, plus save up to 20% off on all 1 and 5 gallon BH Ultima Plus and Perma paints. So come to Phil's Hardware Spanish Town with Design Studio, Saturday, December 14 from 1 to 3 p.m. It's the BH Paints Christmas promotion. All this and more, only on Nationwide 90 FM, the new revolution in media. This broadcast is brought to you by BH Paints. Tune in to Nationwide 90 FM, the new revolution in media. Stay ahead of the curve with our cutting-edge reporting and accurate breaking news coverage.
We are having an earthquake. Oh, God.
Hear it here first on Nationwide 90 FM. Tune in, turn up the volume, and listen. We bring a mix of news, entertainment, and sports to your lives.
Nationwide 90 FM's live and continuous coverage of the World Championships in Budapest, Hungary.
News and discussions week mornings.
Coming up in the news at 6 for this morning.
Entertainment in the afternoons, then news again in the evenings.
Nationwide news at this hour, fired.
Also, tune in to the entertainment and sports shows in the nights and on the weekends.
It is Boy Things After Dark right here on Nationwide 90 FM.
Everything is news, from current affairs and entertainment to sports, business, and other categories.
Nationwide 90 FM. This is Benjamin. Give it to them. Zaga, Zen.
From every whisper to every commotion.
That's rubbish. The KSAMC cannot investigate itself.
Every news story unfolds here first at Nationwide 90 FM, the new revolution in media. Every sound is a story, and every story we share is news.
Six 630-937-124, 618-8255. Bobby?
Yes, good evening, Ricardo. Good evening, Sandra.
Good evening.
Hi, Bobby. How are you?
Well, I am here. You know, I just want to say something. When I used to live in the country, see, I used to hear country people say, and Nancy said the world don't level.
Mm-hmm.
It's what I really look on. When I look and see the other day, this Prime Minister went down in the country and he opened a house through the whole program and hand it out to someone who cannot afford an house.
Mm-hmm.
And he make mention of 2 children who perish in a fire somewhere there in the island because of open flame candle.
Mm-hmm.
And he advises his minister to ensure that solar lighting is given out to households across the island who cannot go on to the JPS go grid and so on, because he doesn't want another occurrence of where open flame is lit in a house, the house burned down, and people perish in a fire. And when I look and I see things like these and other good things that he have done for Jamaica, you know, in terms of a lot of garbage truck coming out, buses coming out, and so on, and we get the reverse tax credit in our account,
mm-hmm.
and we also saw where the compensation package had also helped public sector workers, especially those at the bottom of the ladder. And this Prime Minister, he kept on working. And when I see, they are trying to damage this man with all of the hard work, what he is doing. Suppose he was sitting down there like some previous Prime Minister, fold his hand and not doing nothing and let the country go down to rock bottom, what would everybody have to say? And when they are trying to damage the Prime Minister, we hardly even hear, especially some media out. And mark you, I should give credit to Nationwide, because the other day when a false news come out by one media house, and that media house had to come out and apologize, I have here where Nationwide come out and defend him, right? Because Nationwide always do investigative journalism.
So who did we defend? Who did we defend?
When I hear a false news from the IC Commission come out and one media house come out and
no false news came out of the IC. A media house misreported or misrepresented what the IC had found. Right.
And I hear when they come out and had to apologize.
Yes.
And I must give credit to Nationwide, or Nationwide deal with the matter diplomatically, right? And what I am saying, Ricardo, you see, I cannot fathom why is it this commission is doing all of these things and then others take it up and damaging the poor young man, and he is doing an excellent job for the country. You see, is one thing I want to tell them, is one thing I want to tell them, and this is under my dead body. You see, Prime Minister Dr. Andrew Michael Holness is not paying that no mind. He is continue focusing on the work of the people of Jamaica, and you watch and see, in the next general election, I am telling you, he will be a third-term Prime Minister, and if he stays there for the fourth term, he will get a fourth term, and if he stays there for the fifth term...
You don't bother with it about fifth term. You don't bother with it. You don't bother with it. Go on.
Come on, Ricardo.
You don't bother with it about our fifth term.
He will get it.
That is bad for democracy.
Huh?
That is bad for democracy.
That is not
Political
bad
parties shouldn't stay in power for so long.
That is not bad for democracy, Ricardo, because he is doing a good job. And make I tell you something, Ricardo. If he was doing something,
so you would want Andrew Holness to remain as Prime Minister for a total, essentially, of 25 years, is what you're saying. Because if he go to a fifth term, that would be right, 5, 10, yeah.
Yes.
You would have want that one Prime Minister for 25 years?
Yes, Ricardo, because he is doing a good job. Because, Ricardo, me know say you and Sandra get back under 25, under 20,000.
You don't know nothing about my pocket. You go on, Bobby. You don't know nothing about my pocket.
Me know you don't get it, and you never get this yet under
you don't know nothing about my pocket.
Administration.
I hear you. I don't know about 20 years though, or 25 years of one Prime Minister, but I hear you. All right, my brother.
Okay then, all right.
Have a good one, yeah, man. 630-9371-24618825. Who's next? Alric, good evening.
Hello, Ricardo. Sanjay.
What's up, going?
Who is it? Who's co-hosting?
Sanjay.
Oh, yeah, man. Ricardo.
Yes.
I heard there are two discussions you see with the bankers. Around 4 months ago, they were on the program, NCB were on the program on Morning with Nora. And I had spoken to them. Ricardo, NCB, when you go there, it's pure $5,000 notes. 9 out of 10 times you get it.
Right, so that's the situation the Bank of Jamaica is trying to rectify, because they've heard your complaints about how much $5,000 notes you're getting.
Yeah.
And that's why they're rationing it now.
And the lady at NCB told me that it wouldn't be lasting much longer, but it's still going on. If you go there to draw $5,000, it's $5,000 note to get, and you know what hurts Ricardo and Sanjay, you all right? So you want to go draw a little money to go do some shopping or some little place with no point of sale machine, but all right. You go into the marketing man, and you're going to buy. You know, so you make a little list and you're going to buy. You're going to buy $2,000 out or something, or $2,500 from that lady there.
Mm-hmm.
Or when you go to her now, a $5,000 you have to give her.
Right.
She look up on you like, say,
Nah,
where you come from? A Mars?
Nah, shit. We can't bust that.
She can't bust that.
Yes.
And then you go down there so now, and you find yourself in a trouble now, because where you go, because after you left her now, and then there's somebody who near to her you buy from, where you go spend $800 or $1,000, you find yourself in a problem. And I've been complaining about it for a while.
It make it harder for you haggle about the price, because she tell us you have $2,000, they can't tell us you have it because of $5,000
money.
Because you can't run down the price from
Right.
$1,200 to $1,000.
With your big $5,000.
They want every day.
True.
Well, I'm only hope them really are work towards. Because what I read in the papers today or yesterday is that somebody who didn't want to name themselves said that NCB manipulated the system. I don't know if it's true. I read it in the papers, the person was an unnamed person, somebody who didn't want to be identified. But I'm glad you interviewed the people this evening, and they're trying to clear it up. And the other one now with the funding release right away. That should have been done long ago, man.
True.
A long time ago.
Trust me, man, it's a significant inconvenience.
The age we live in, and now you have to wait 7 days to get little money will come to you from our next bank, and then I'm going to tell you a whole heap of foolishness, man. I make Jamaica look still backward when we know the technology thing.
Yeah.
So I don't know. Anyway, guys, enjoy the weekend. Ricardo.
Yes, sir.
I hear them trying to set up a little Olympics thing. You hear them the other morning?
Oh, that's why Tana asked me. Siobhan and Cliff, who would win the race?
Yes.
Oh, well, my question.
And then, but them say, you have to get Cliff a jump.
Probably. No, actually, it might give you a run for money because him walk every morning, and him walk miles. So, probably.
So, it may be him fit.
It might, yeah. You have to put it to the test.
He's giving himself a big name, Lightning George.
Oh, true.
Say nobody can beat him. So, me laugh when me said that. So, I said, George put himself in a class by himself and want to put you on Shavana and
Make we see. Maybe this 2025 we'll have a nationwide sports day and invite some of the listeners. Make we see.
All right then. Big up on yourself for the weekend and take care, man.
All right. You too, my brother.
All the best.
Sanjay, you know what I wanted to ask, and I'd love for our listeners to call in and share with us. Christmas traditions that are dying. I don't know. I don't see, for example, the amount of Christmas lights that I recall growing up. And I'm not going to tell me say because the light bill high. Light bill never high them time there? No? They might say no. But I don't see that anymore. So for example, I recall in Harborview, there was a particular house near to the roundabout. I want to tell you, them bush off in a pepper light. We used to call it pepper light. I don't know. People like Dana call it Christmas lights. We used to call it pepper light. Right? I don't see that anymore. And I don't even hear the morning caroling. I remember the churches used to do, the early morning caroling in the 5 o'clock. That don't happen no more. So I'd love, so I'd love for some of the listeners, perhaps some of the older listeners, listeners of a particular age, as my grandmother would say, I should say. If you can just come and share some of those traditions that you recall growing up in Jamaica that you don't see anymore. Because some of them did nice. Remember, for example, vaguely the pudding.
Definitely the Christmas lights, Ricardo.
Yeah, yes. And remember the pudding where my grandmother used to make the fire out a door, and this big Dutch pot looking thing, and there's a zinc on the top where she put the coal and the fire up on the top. Yeah.
What about the sorrel? I know my grandmother, she already called
me. No, man, the sorrel remains, but sad to say...
The authentic
a lot of people are drinking the true juice sorrel.
Yeah, no. That is nice, but I'm talking authentic.
I don't know if a lot of people are
Christmas,
still making the authentic. Sorry, with the pimento seed in pimento. Yeah, I think that's pimento seed she should put in there. But yeah, and when you drink it, you have to say and lick your chest. The ginger turn up in it. 630-937-124 618-8255. Delroy, good evening.
Hi, Ricardo. Good night. How are you doing, man?
I'm doing well. How are you?
I'm great. Yeah, my little piece, Ricardo. I don't really understand something, so I just want to find out. Is it now when you do, like you do building and things like that? It's the municipal is the one that come and check your building, or is the case is the IC come to come and check it now? Which of them?
The competent authority by law is the municipal corporation. They do the building inspections, they grant the permits, they should ensure that you are adhering to the standards. The Integrity Commission, though, can probe any alleged breach of the statutes, because as an anti-corruption body, they exist to ensure that you are on the straight and narrow.
So, is it before we have, do we have Integrity Commission just to go around and check people's place, or is just a personal place that you go and check? No, I didn't hear of them.
No, but remember, if they're doing an investigation, right, and it takes them to a particular area or a venue or a building in this matter, they have all right to do so within the law or the act that governs the Integrity Commission based on the investigation that they're doing.
And recall, the Contractor General used to do similar work.
So, like the KCFC, I go into the one in Kingston there. So like the KCFC, go and check in those development that was going on and reporting that, all in place. How come that the Integrity Commission jumped the heads of the KCC to go and find out that something is wrong when the KCC is checked that everything is okay? It's because of somebody personal why they're doing that?
Well, there's a material question, and you're quite right to raise the question about that. And we're awaiting word from the KSAMC. The mayor's ordered an investigation, so we must see the documentation when they visited, what conclusions they drew, right? That's one. Two, it is more than a little strange that the Integrity Commission concluded that there were breaches of the permit on a property or a construction that has not yet been completed. And my understanding is that it's not completed. So I don't know how you definitively conclude that there is a breach, especially at a time when you were told by the information that's present in your own report that there were some minor variations. I think it was because of plumbing, my recollection is. But that did not change the substantial blueprint of the building. So those are questions that remain. I don't have the answers to those questions, though.
So we have a lot of things there before the IC. Some of them is over years and things like that. So all of a sudden, them jump the cases, the head and run to investigate that one. That is even check upward to October and to bring out a statement so quick. Them check that July and bring out a statement. I even understand that those people push out a release for operational leader on the same day when the Labour Party have meeting, which is on a Sunday. Which I don't know.
But the Integrity Commission did. Hold on. The Integrity Commission. Hold on.
I don't know if government people do those type of work on a Sunday. Why is it that they find time?
Well, they did explain that they had sent Mr. Golding statutory declarations to be gazetted. I think they were these days in advance, right? They are suggesting that it is a coincidence that it was published on the same day.
But they don't really work on a Sunday. So why is it that the day when the conference going on is the day when they find it possible to go there?
Right, that's what I'm saying to you. They're saying that they actually sent it off to be gazetted before that day. but it just happened to be published that day, and they're saying it is a coincidence. It was not intentional. You can make up your mind about that.
My brother, it is a time jump what time afford. There's no coincidence that we have from Monday to Friday, and it's only coincidence happens on a Sunday when we have conference. That is no coincidence. Everything is all about politics, and we need to know what about after they make that statement. I think it's on Tuesday when they put out that press release. Tuesday, TVJ come out in the night and say, they're sorry for what took place. And even from them say that you don't hear nothing at all about the people that we call them human rights. But you know and me know that if it was like the labor rights who do that to the PNP, that's your past and come out. I don't understand these people. I think human rights are supposed to be balanced, but they're not balanced. Hello?
Yeah, man, I'm hearing you.
Yeah, we're hearing you.
Yeah, I think they are supposed to be balanced, but they are not balanced any at all. The next one, that's the last one. I listened to this thing with the Mitchell in Manchester. That this promoter put out a show, and they have plenty of time. They grant the show, you know. I mean, the guys they have party 10 times when he over on the PNP side. Now that change from the PNP and go over to the Labour side. Immediately after I put out a show, 2 days, them just come to you and the thing was that the show cannot keep. Where it always keep and there's no problem. All those things are too plain. Those things are too plain in people's faces that everything is about politics. This is the same here where Tyrone Carlin was to talk to him sometime early on down the year. I don't know what was something took place and him said that his lawyer to him saying not to stay public. The lawyer will come, and up to now we don't hear nothing from me, the mayor, nor the lawyer. So all those things are too plain. Everything is about politics.
All right, Delroy.
Yeah, everything is too plain now. We need to have body which parties is balanced. If it is the Labour, say it's Labour. If it's PNP, say it's PNP. But you don't hear nothing about the PNP. Everything is about the Labour Party. So we don't have no integrity commission, and we don't have no human rights.
All right, Delroy. Thank you for the call.
Thank you.
Have a great weekend, my brother.
You too, my brother.
You too.
630-9371-2461-8825. Who's next? Errol, good evening.
Bless up.
What are going?
Yes. What are going? Some old.
Ricardo and Sanjay.
Ricardo.
Yes, sir.
Right, no, when me talk, the last time I talk on the train, Tyrone never liked it.
What you talking?
Me talk about the British white man, he talk about colour and he go round. You understand?
Me not like the colour argument either in the era.
Yeah. But when Thiago did that, Prime Minister, colour the good one, nobody never did a lick out against it.
Yeah, but it doesn't make it right now. It doesn't make it right, Errol. So even then, when individuals were doing it, and let's say, even if no one had complained about it, and that's not true, actually, it doesn't make it right for us to be doing it now.
All right. Well, I know there's something I'm going to show you something. The integrity now. Everything Anjo do them just dip on Anjo back like how Anjo do them so. But you know what I say, the integrity I just saw the Prime Minister and the poor if just run the whole of them and get a new set of people. Then if we go, one of them dead there, you know, where him, Matalan, Mark Golan, and him, them did in a deal in a Omar Davis time, you know. You know that?
I don't know that.
You're not going to know.
No, me tell us I don't know. I have no evidence. What you mean I'm not going to know? I have no evidence of that.
Go back in our research. I should remember my name.
Well, I'm glad you don't remember my name because I don't want you to call anybody's name. Don't call anybody's name.
Matalan,
I said don't call nobody's name. I don't have any evidence of that. Make the point.
Nobody comes so way.
You know, you're human rights. I say nothing. But let me tell you, them could have try from now until you say when. And you only are going to win next term. And you call
And if him no win, what you gonna do?
No win not there is a must.
And if him don't win, what you gonna do?
What am I gonna do?
Mm-hmm.
What you want me to say? I'm gonna do?
Me no tell me, cause you're sure. You're certain. And if him not win, what you gonna do?
What you want me to say? I'm gonna kill myself.
But
you are so certain.
You know, and Ricardo is
yes, I'm saying if you turn out to be wrong,
yes,
you'll be good. You'll live with that. You'll be good.
Good.
All right, cool.
But that is a must.
It's a must. All right.
Must, and you will see.
Yeah, no, make a day, man, and hope you call.
You go there.
You go there.
And you go see. Who God bless? No man curse. But and your wellness bless on him head to him too. Have a good night.
All right, Terrell. Aye. Deliberate them. 630-937-124 618-8255. I want to hear the Christmas traditions that you don't see anymore. Why don't you come to talk the politics? Remember to tell me about the Christmas traditions. Omalo.
Yeah, good evening, Ricardo. Good evening, Francis.
Good evening, Omalo.
Hey, good evening, Omalo.
I really care about Christmas.
You don't really care about Christmas?
No, I don't care about them.
What make?
Because when you know the history, you're supposed to know.
All right, fine. All right, so all right, fine. The history.
Good to know before you celebrate.
No, all right. So you don't have to celebrate the history or but the festivity of the season. Not even that. Nobody in one good mood and eat a piece of
Then the festivity is separated from the history.
Oh, absolutely, because the history has a religious connotation, and I'm saying if you're not a religious person, then that doesn't matter one way or the other.
I thought they joined together.
No, man, there are people. No, man, there are people who celebrate Christmas who have no regard for the religious significance of it.
Well, you know, people in their mind do whatever they want to do. They can't even separate.
So you don't eat pizza. You don't eat pizza. I want little curry goat and little gungo rice and peas.
Born pork, bro. Me never eat pig.
That's why you're miserable, say now, Malo. And that's why you're miserable, so. And that's why you're miserable, so. See there? You need piece of the swine. You need piece of the swine. That's why you're miserable, so.
Man born a rasta. Man have to be miserable when them know.
All right. What's on your mind? Yes.
What is the purpose of the Integrity Commission report without any prosecution?
Well, I mean, it bring attention to a situation that you think potentially has its genesis in a corrupt act. I suppose there's value in that, adding transparency.
In a corrupt act, an accusation. So you're saying that if the police decides to investigate a politician for any corrupt act or anything like that, they should also tell the public as to what their final report is, even if they don't refer it for prosecution.
Do you agree though?
No, I'm just asking.
Yeah, I hear you. As I'm asking you a question in turn, do you agree with me that matters of governance can eclipse simply a criminal matter? Meaning, the fact that there is no criminal charge does not mean there has not been a breach of governance. Would you agree with that?
I could agree with that.
Yeah.
Let's ask some good ethics laws then.
But they did that. Nobody did that. That's a part of their recommendation.
No, I'm saying, would not just they ask for it. Let's put it in and let the ethics deal with that part. It doesn't have to reach a prosecution for ethics to remove you from the
But the Integrity Commission agrees with you. That's what they're calling for.
But I am saying, even although they are calling for that, what's the purpose of their report other than to, I don't know, what is the purpose? I cannot see.
The purpose is exactly what you are.
Just a minute, Ricardo. How is it making corruption lesser in Jamaica? We used to hear this from Greg Christie. We used to hear reports coming from the attorney, the Auditor General, and these are the same things that we get. How did we move forward?
But but also one of the things that it does is it brings public attention to a certain matter, and at times the politicians may act and may make changes to the law, etc. And also it keeps politicians in line. What we have witnessed with the Integrity Commission and the former Contractor General, and when you compare to what obtains now and what obtains a few years ago, we have seen a difference. For example, politicians filing their statutory declaration on time. We have seen way more politicians filing on time than when compared, let's say, to a couple of years ago. So even those small gains is something to celebrate in the broad scheme of things.
Sanjay, the law changed that. Not reporting things that really there is no conclusion of a prosecution. But we are reporting an allegation.
But my brother, hear me out with this. No, but hold on. If the law changes, but then the individuals who are supposed to enforce the law is not doing that, then the law serves no purpose. And that is something that we have complained about many years in this country. So by publishing that report, they are bringing public attention to those who are following the law and those who are not. And we have seen cases where they publish the report to say these individuals have not filed on time and they have been brought before the courts. We have seen that.
That is a different thing.
How is it different? How is it different though?
A thing where prosecution is referred. You are not talking about a thing where I'm making a suggestion of change to certain things, a prosecution. You all have to listen. We can't just be saying that we are here to do something because we want to do something and it serves no real relevance other than cause mischief in a political system where we know that it is already tribal. What benefit does Jamaicans are getting from this? What is the solution Jamaicans are getting from this? If it's only a report, why we don't let the police then come out and tell we what they investigate about any politicians, just like the Integrity Commission do?
No, but I'm sorry, I'm not following you because the Integrity Commission will do a report. They will do their investigation. Mm-hmm. They will publish a report, and at times they will say this individual was referred for prosecution. Mm-hmm. So the report is telling us what happened, the investigation, and the findings, of course, and what they have recommended be done. So there's purpose in the report, but the Integrity Commission is not just publishing the report just to publish, but they're telling you what they have done based on the investigations that they have conducted.
Jamaica no purpose if the fraud squad investigate the Prime Minister and refer to the DPP to prosecute, and the DPP said there is no charge. We don't hear in what the fraud squad had done in their investigation. Because it makes no sense, because it reached a level where it said there is no prosecution.
Exactly, but hold on. So what are you? But hold on, because if an investigation is done, and when they do the investigation, there is nothing. Why do you want to hear what the fraud squad would have searched or whatever? These individuals, but these individuals still are citizens of the country, and based on the Constitution, they have a right for their information to be protected. If what?
Why do we want to hear what the Integrity Commission investigator do?
Because that is what they... I'm sorry, Amala, but I'm not following. The Integrity Commission, they have a response.
Following because you say, why do we want to hear what the fraud squad do? So we want to ask you the same question. Why do we want to hear what the investigating in the ICC do?
Because there is a requirement from the Integrity Commission that if they conduct an investigation, they are going to produce a report. That's the purpose. You're not going to get all the intricacies. The fraud squad did this, FID did this. They're not going to tell you that in the Integrity Commission report. Does it mean that the Integrity Commission didn't contact the fraud squad? They didn't suggest that the Integrity Commission didn't contact the FID? No. But you're not going to get all those details in that final report. You're going to get a broad report.
Sanjay, let me explain before I go. Separate and apart from the IC, the fraud squad is investigating by themselves about a fraud for a politician. The fraud squad referred to the DPP. The DPP said there is no charge here. We cannot go forward. Mm-hmm. we don't hear what the fraud squad have done. So why are we hearing what the investigating arm inside the IC are doing when there is no referral?
So what do you want then? What do you want? What are you asking for?
This is a mess, and we need to fix it. And how we need to fix it is that when he does his investigation and turn it over to the director of prosecution, and he give a final report as to if there is referral for prosecution or not. And if it's not, it's end right there.
So you don't want to see the report from the Integrity Commission?
From what the DPP and the police would do. But in the IC, we get this report as to his investigation. What is his investigation has to do with us? Tell me what.
But what you have to remember, though, remember the Integrity Commission is governed by an act. And part of that act suggests that they have to produce a report to Parliament based on investigations that they have carried out. So maybe what you need to recommend is that the parliamentarians need to go to Parliament and make changes to the Integrity Commission Act, since you are of the belief that there is no point in producing the report.
No, report to the director of prosecution. You cannot leave the Jamaican people to speculate. And Jamaican people are already divided and taking side. And we are here speculating. Who does it benefit? Who does it benefit?
I hear you. Thank you.
Okay.
Our next caller, all the best. We have Carl. Hi, Carl.
Evening, Trevor. Evening, Ricardo.
Sanjay this evening. Ricardo is here too. But Ricardo stepped away for a bit.
All right, Trevor, you can't tell me when them people left on an IC contract finish.
My understanding is that it's until February of next year. I need to double check, but that's my
February next. Oh, Jesus. So how we are going to manage this so long?
February right around the corner.
Because we don't like to, as Tom Tavares Finson say, we need to change out those people, and when we change them out, we don't want no termination of who will be going there. So we need to get some, them all-time jails to wash every bench from top to top, chair. See about that fact, all of what left in there after they leave. What to burn, what to carry go in yard, and flush it with some jails. All-time jails. You need to give that place a good wash. That's they not contaminate nobody who will come there after them. That's what it means.
I hear you.
Trust me.
And looking on the but hold on, Carl. When you look on the work of the Integrity Commission over the last couple of years, let's not look at the last couple of months. Would you say there is anything that the Integrity Commission has done that you can be proud of? Anything
it is so contaminated now that it comes like nothing is left there. Nothing that NDD even do before didn't make any sense, so it's contaminated. I mean, I don't know if you know all-time jails, but it needs some of that real strong all-time jails to flush that place. To really give it a proper wash after those left there. Anyhow, come back to, I hear Motley came here on the Wednesday evening to celebrate with a disaster of the 70s. I wonder why Motley never thought about what did happen when he took up the people in East Kingston and organized to slaughter them at Green Bay. That's what Motley should have talked about.
Yeah, but why should need to focus on the negatives? The individual is no longer with us. No, but hold on. The individual is no longer with us. It's a annual lecture to celebrate the person. Why focus on the negatives?
And it's not if she want to come here, come focus on the good. She should focus on the negative and say those things are wrong. See it that way too.
Well, I mean, one thing, Carl, you can't erase history, History is there for everyone to see. Right. So I don't think that she needs to highlight the negatives. She was invited as a special guest to speak at the lecture. I wouldn't expect for her to highlight the negatives at all.
Okay, and what Matley should have also said was how he organized to lock up all of his opponents. You should never leave those things of people like those. You can contact all the good what they do. You must always pick out some of the negative to speak about. Never
let me ask you a question. Out. When you go to a funeral, if you hear nobody talk all the bad things,
well, that's why nowadays I hardly want to go to a funeral. And that's why when I die, I already tell my son that he's cremate me want.
Yeah, but they will still have the funeral and you want them to come.
We don't have those. We don't have to have those things. You ask for what you want and send in your will. All those who lie will come at church, come tell. Doesn't make any sense when you go to some of these funerals.
No, but I mean, some of them is not lying. You're probably just focusing on the good things that the individual would have done while they're alive. Nothing is wrong with that.
But Ricardo, may I ask you something? As Chef asked me since night. For the last, say, about 9 months now to 10 months, anybody will have eyesight and have anything when you're intelligent can look at that place we call the IC and see that it is hunting for angel wholeness. It is hunting for angel wholeness. It is no. I think what them found on that place need to do is find out how much time for the day use a bathroom. Maybe that is what them to invest. Somebody will say, boy, then see Andrew go to bathroom too often, and they need to investigate it, and the IC will take it up. But anything we're concerning Andrew, or if him all of the IC went and do one video and buy one jelly coconut, maybe then soon somebody will soon call and say, well, he have two friends there with him and he spent $10,000 buy the 3 jelly coconut. And somebody will call the IC and the IC will soon investigate it. That's how poor the IC get now. The IC is just up in the angel wholeness business. Nothing for the last 9 months. Can I ask you something? If Chevron and Ricardo,
Ricardo stepped away.
Chef, what he was he was a part of Nationwide when it just started. But something happened and you have to move on. So you sell out your shares to Cliff Hughes and move on. And anything should have happened down the road 7 months after you give up everything, you sign over everything to Cliff. So anything will happen since Cliff alone, you don't have nothing to do with no piece of the documents them that know at Nationwide. How could your name reach in our documents? You know, she say the place is so terminated now.
Well, as I've said yesterday, the Integrity Commission in that executive summary, because if you read the report in its entirety, it did indicate that when they completed their investigations, they found out that the Prime Minister is not linked to the company. My only issue is they should have, in the executive summary, make it very clear that, yes, they received a tip-off, a whistleblower, and this is why they did the investigation. And in the findings, they should have indicated that he's not linked at the top of the document, just as how they explain other things in the executive summary.
No, if them did say that, that's not what the agenda was for. The agenda was to put it out there for it to sell. And that's why you see one radio station or one TV station get themselves in a serious problem. Because they never stopped to read the documents like how Nationwide did it in Evelyn. What all of them was hunting is to save everybody at all of those places, enough of those places was safe and can get something to clamp on your wholeness. That's what a lot of them is seeking. Something to save and can get your wholeness. And that's why them, the TikTok radio station and TV, because TikTok you call TVJ now. They not check out a story and just want to hear somebody say, then glimpse you don't even right want some raw chicken or one raw fish. And TikTok just run with it. That's how RJR is now.
I don't know about that.
I don't know about that.
I don't know about that.
if they did read the document properly when Tuesday evening, they wouldn't get into the problem where they get into now. And I hope the Prime Minister doesn't ask for only apology. When people been scandalizing you, you can't move TVJ. And I hope the Prime Minister do not just take apology from that TV station. You must make people pay when you hold them. Pay through them teeth.
All right, Carl.
All right. Thank you, Carl. We have Robbie next. Hi, Robbie.
Yes, good night, good afternoon, yeah, man.
Good evening.
Yeah, man, Robbie is here. With the housing and Kingston, the house building with KCC. So, I think that's why the government lose the last local government election, you know, because they have too much cloud over them by passing some of these houses, and then them don't get full account for what they have passed in the cases with MC. What do you think?
No,
Hello?
No, I don't think I would credit that to why they didn't do as well in the local government election.
You don't think so?
No.
Well, that is my opinion.
I hear you, but I'm just saying I do agree.
That parish council, me and whatever, I think they do a poor job in the KCC at the last.
But did they really lose the KCMC though? It was a tie, you know. It was a virtual tie.
Come again. Yeah, I know, but
yeah, so they didn't really.
They know the popular vote. I don't know PMP have the standard.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know that the JLP usually wins the popular vote in the KCMC. To tell you the truth, my brother.
Eh?
The JLP doesn't usually win the popular vote.
Yeah, man, that's what I said.
Right. So I'm saying I don't.
Yeah.
So I don't know that your conclusion that the building permit issue would have been to blame.
Well, I think what we're hearing now is that I don't think since this government, this local government, this election, this new mayor take over, we have this, they get this license for this apartment.
Wait, say that again?
I don't think it's since the local government, after I think they get the license for the apartment before we get
the building permit would have been before. Yes, for sure. Yes, man.
Anyway, I asked Ricardo to check something for me and I listened via night. You come like you have to tell me.
You wanted me to remind me again. Remind me again.
Ask him to check it for me.
Remind me again what it is.
All right. The mediation. When you go to court.
Oh, yes. Whether after you've gone to mediation, if the person pulls out, what happens?
Yeah.
All right.
And if it's so, if it can pull out, I think the minister of what do you call it now?
Justice.
In charge of the court.
Justice.
Minister of Justice, Gerald Chuck. I think if you're going to have a mediation, you need to put teeth in the thing, man. What do you think?
Yeah, I mean, but generally my understanding is that people usually abide by the outcome of the mediation.
But I wonder, because if a man signs to the mediation, say, all right, I will accept this. And then when you go for pay him, say, no, sir, I don't want it. No one tell me, say, make sure I get more. And you didn't go before the judge, you can't easily pull out. I just still have the receipt. I think I want to know if it is not binding for somebody to sign something, sign an agreement.
Yeah.
So we need to take out that one. We need to take up a lot more time.
All right.
All right, Ricardo.
Have a good one.
Have a good
one. I don't think that's got my brother. Yes, I'm there now.
And next thing again, me I tell Mr. Cliff Hughes, I need the program, film program.
Yes.
The extend for an hour, because when you come back lunchtime, you spend half hour for the news, half hour for him and the music.
So you want him on from 10 till 2?
Yeah, man, you know, Mucky Perkins used to do that, and Mucky Perkins used to do 3 years. So me and Chris Hughes, a younger man, I'm have to do one of the day. Extend and take you can't take a day and give make you get one idea too.
No, we have a particular activity that happens at 1 every day called the production meeting.
Yeah.
And all the editors and all the reporters and all the producers have to be at that meeting. So I don't know how that would work.
Okay.
Yeah.
If you tell me that, you tell me say I'm too much working too old.
Yeah.
All right,
All
thanks for give me the call, keep me up to date.
No problem, my brother. Have a good
Yeah,
one.
cool.
Yeah, man. 630-937-124 618-8255. No, at 1 o'clock every day, listeners, you know, the newsroom gathers for what's called a production meeting. That's where we discuss stories that we've carried, stories that we will carry. People bring them, you know, grosses if they have a problem. If you want to complain about something we're putting at the news, that's where we have those discussions. And it's every day at 1 o'clock. So as soon as he comes off air, just to give you some background of what happens, he goes right into that production meeting. Yeah. So I don't know how that would work. And the production meeting is important. Yeah. Dana is smiling. She's saying, is it? Dana comes under the most pressure sometimes at the production meeting because she has to justify the things that she wants to do at 5:30 on the cover story and at 6:40. She says, I'm the one who pressures her. I don't know about that. I ask searching questions of my producer. That's it. But no, I'm still not hearing the Christmas traditions. And I want, Damien, what Christmas tradition from your childhood you don't see it anymore? I'm asking them still have Grand Market. Yeah, they do, don't they? Yes, they do.
It's a good question.
They do have Grand Market. Yeah, man. Yeah. And you know, I've only gone once. I've only gone. Yeah, I couldn't manage a crowd, so I never go back.
Ricardo, it was a tradition in Westmoreland.
Couldn't manage a crowd.
Every year, you dress up and your mother give money in your pocket and you go walk Savlama and come back.
Oh.
Every year.
Did you actually buy anything though, or did you just walk up and down?
Not one thing, or maybe a juice. Nothing. Because I wanted to keep the money.
Oh, sure. I see.
Yeah.
So Dana, when you bought the things at Grand Market, it was for wearing at Christmas Day? Because what was it? What you did?
So hold on, Dana buy things Grand Market now?
Yeah, she said, but it was mostly toys. The light up toys and that kind of a thing. And Dolly. I see. So you're meat out for the Christmas. I see. I get you. Chris Mulling says Grand Market at night was the best and enjoyable. Barbara Ellington. Hi, Auntie Barbara. We have some business to talk about, you know. Auntie Barbara says Christiana Grand Market sell off. Yeah. Christiana. So Dana is saying she went to Christiana. And Cindy Lynch is saying, I don't like Grand Market either because I don't like the crowd. Yes, Cindy, me couldn't manage a crowd at all. Me go downtown. Me did go do one downtown. And I say, no, sir. Where's some people come from? And I just never went back. Barbara Ellington says, sometimes you go to get last minute gifts. Okay.
That's the idea behind it, Ricardo. You go to get last minute gifts because the next day is Christmas.
Who did I see somebody saying? All right, so says Marina White says going around the community singing carols. I guess that's a tradition that she no longer sees. Corinne says caroling. Yeah, I see people being up Brownstown Grand Market. Yeah, Kingsley Graham says Brownstown Grand Market are the best. And Mikhail says you go to do last minute shopping. Mm-hmm. And Donovan asked me if me did traumatized. Yeah, me did traumatized. Believe people just crowd everywhere you turn. People. Me couldn't mind it. Yes, I think they did ban clappers, but remember clappers from me young. Yeah, clappers war. Remember that. Yeah. They asked you to play a tune. I think somebody asked you to play the one about what it called? Mary's boy child Jesus Christ was born on Christmas. No, yeah, that the Jamaican version. Marigold says John Canoe. I don't remember seeing that. You know, I don't remember ever seeing it in person, but I've heard of it.
I have.
So maybe it had gone extinct before me even did pay attention because I don't remember seeing it.
I've seen it twice.
Yeah.
But didn't you see that Grand Gala, Ricardo?
Yes. Oh, yes. Yes. That's the only. Yeah. Okay. Yes. The characters. I did see the characters at Grand Gala.
Yeah.
Dwayne Hyatt says he's going to Linstead's Grand Market. CJ Martinez says Mandeville's Grand Market are the best. Andre Lawrence says no Grand Market beat Brownstone. What happened in Brownstone? Right?
What? This is the third person talking about
Brownstone. San says John Kunu was popular too. I missed that. It was scary but fun. Chris says play It's Christmas by Carla Thomas. If you can find that one, Damien. It's Christmas by Carla Thomas. Anthony says we too big man must leave Christmas. It's for young people. He said you're too old for some festivities. That's crazy. Killian Henry says John Kuni and merry-go-round. Full disclosure is also asking about John Kunu. Sharon Bless says downtown I get trouble till daylight. Yes. Because my friends wanted to stay, even though I was like, okay, there are too much people. Let's go. They wanted to stay till the sun came up. Too many. That's what you get coming to my ears and say. Yeah, Dana says probably the problem was Kingston because the country Grand Market them slap.
That's true, because Westmoreland was nice in Salomar. So I don't know about Kingston, but...
Sharon Blessed John Kunu was before me. Yeah, I don't remember seeing it as a Christmas tradition. I think I saw the characters, you're right, at the gala, but I don't remember seeing it before that. Anyhow, that's all the time we have. Dana Davey, salute. Thank you, super producer. Damian Cunningham, thank you, my boss. Our colleagues in the news room, led by our editor, Kimon Thompson. Thank you all so much. Find a song, Damien? Just give them a Christmas. Them big a carol. Give them a carol. We'll leave you with a Christmas carol. I'm Ricardo Brooks.
My name is Sanjay Lewis. Wishing for you a wonderful weekend.
Good evening.
Long time ago in Bethlehem, so the Holy Bible say, Mary's boy child, Jesus Christ, was born on Christmas Day. Hark now, hear the angels sing, a new king born today, and man will live forevermore because of Christmas Day. Trumpets sound and
hello there, Merry Christmas, how you been? Gee, it's so good to talk to you again. It's been a long, long time, and explain why you crossed my mind. I guess it's just to wish you a Merry Christmas. My best friend's having a party, and everybody's going. I know it's gonna be a lot of fun. Oh, by the way, it's snowing. It's been a long, long time, and explain why you crossed my mind. I guess it's just to say, gee whiz, it's Christmas. It's funny that I haven't thought.
Tune in to Nationwide 90 FM, the new revolution in media. Stay ahead of the curve with our cutting-edge reporting and accurate breaking news coverage.
We're having an earthquake. Oh, God.
Hear it here first.